in Game 7, but we just have to stick to the game plan we've had because we have a lot of faith. When we play the right way, when we stick to our game plan, this team's really liked what they've done this series, right? So don't get away from that. Don't let the emotions of it overtake you and just stick to the game plan because when they've played well, they really have played quite good.
Individually, you got to play better than the guy you're playing against. That's what you have in your mind. The guy that's opposite me, I'm playing better than you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be in your face all night long, and I am going to limit you. And that's what you really come into the game with, that thought process.
And I've got to think, as a goaltender, do you want to see that puck, especially early on, just to get the feel?
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
in Game 7.
Yeah, in any games, really, you like to have it. You like to get the feel of the puck. But Game 7, it's, you know what? It's funny though, in a sense, when it does start, it becomes another game.
Yeah.
You know, but but the one thing that I find for everybody outside of a goalie is that you got to play better than the guy you're playing against.
Yeah.
And that's what's in your mind.
Well, it's funny you say that because Vasi, right, in the press conference in Montreal, he got asked about it, and he said just that. He's like, I can't think about emotions, right? I can't get caught up in that because it's too much. You know, he's like, and he talked about the pregame speech. He's like, I don't listen to a word because I'm so locked in on what I need to do. I can't listen to the coach is passionate. And the media started laughing. And Vasi looked at him and was like, no, I'm serious. Like, I have to do my job. I don't care about the passionate, emotional speech that the coach is giving because my job is different than everybody else's job.
How do you think goalies got the label weird?
They just don't listen or what?
No, because they're in another level.
Another level.
They're on a different planet.
Yeah, they're
another team.
They're in Cloud 8, not 9.
This series has been just evenly matched up and down. It's bizarre. I mean, it's just two teams, as John Cooper said, elite.
206-point teams who are playing like they're 206-point teams. I've never witnessed anything like this, right? Like, there hasn't been a chance for anybody to kind of collectively catch their breath at all during a game, right? Like, think about it. There's the only 2-goal lead lasted for about 5 minutes. Every game-winning goal has either been scored in the third period or overtime. And they've been tied for, 99.5% or within a goal 99.5% of the time in this series. I mean, it's ridiculous on how close everything has been. And that's where, the Chiefs' point about making sure you're outworking the guy that you're out on the shift against, right? Because one play now means the difference between going home and moving on. So, but what you can't do is you can't let those thoughts freeze you on the ice. You still have to go out and play. You can't be fearful of making a mistake because that's when you make mistakes, right? You have to go out. It's hard to treat it as any other game, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Because you have to make sure you're going out and playing. Everything John Cooper said about this is game 96 of the year, you want it to be instinctual. You want all those habits to have been formed. You want everything that was a dress rehearsal in the previous 95 games to be evident tonight and go out and execute that game plan that the guys talk about, and don't let the emotions overtake you and don't let the moment freeze you.
Let's go down the line here. You have a feel for how this thing's going to go. I'll go with you.
I have zero feel.
Good. That's
zero
the honesty
feel.
I like to hear from you.
This series has been so close. Yeah. I have no idea what's going to happen. The one thing I do know, and we talked about it with Dave on the show this afternoon, is it's going to be a close game. Historically, Game 7s are close anyway, and then you consider how this series has gone, it's going to be a close game.
Chief?
Yeah, I think both goalies are going to be good, but who's better is going to be on the winning team.
Yeah. Benjamin?
Ditto. I'm excited.
He's been learning from you, Chief.
Yes, he has.
I'm excited.
That's
I think
my
we're all
boy.
excited because we know it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
But I think anybody in this building would be foolish to tell you they know how this one's going to end.
Exactly.
3-2 Lightning.
Oh,
there you go. You needed an answer. There we go. All right, boys. All right. For every point that Nick Paul records this season, he's going to donate $150 to the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay. As a presenting partner of Points by Paul, Slide Insurance is generously matching these donations. That's $300 to support mental health in Tampa Bay for every point Nick scores. Speaking of Ben Pierce, he and Gabby Shirley take you behind the scenes of the Lightning playoff run and Into the Blue podcast presented by Penelope Bourbon. You can watch the show by following Bolts Radio on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Download the audio in your favorite podcast app. Monday afternoons at 3 p.m. Rachel West has a great feature with Gage Gonsalves. It's coming up next. on Lightning Radio.
Learn to Play, presented by Outback, is the perfect start for your child's hockey journey. Designed for kids 5 to 10 years old, each receives a complete set of hockey gear and 8 weeks of on-ice instructions by Lightning alumni and staff. Visit lightninghockeydevelopment.com/learn-to-play to sign up your child today.
The penalty box is a great place for the Lightning's opponents, but it's a tough place for your money. That's why PNC Bank takes a smart, practical approach to finances that helps you manage your money with confidence, so you can make sure it's in position to score your own personal goals.
Just score! Dominic James! His first NHL goal!
See how at PNC.com. PNC Bank, official retail bank of the Tampa Bay Lightning and brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank National Association member FDIC.
Don Setting here for Wild Fork. I'm always telling you about the great deals. Well, how about some specifics? This week, whole Argentine red shrimp, $4.50 a pound. You want to get some skinless Atlantic salmon portions? Only $9.98 a pound. They've got some unbelievable boneless bacon wrap pork eye of round, only $2 each. And when you buy 2 for less, 2 pounds of organic ground beef, only $7 a pound. Bacon wrap beef tenderloin, just $6 each when you get 2. Go shopping today. West Chase, South Tampa, and St. Pete.
Man, these nights have been cold.
Not that cold.
Well, you're from Mississippi, honey. We're not used to winter in Florida.
Especially at night if your power goes out.
Yeah, if that happens, call Bolt Electric.
And we're on our way.
Better yet, call us before that happens to you.
We'll give you our home electrical health and safety check so you can rest comfortably.
We're also experts in installing whole home surge protection.
Guaranteed to protect your electrical system from energy surges.
Just call Bolt.
Online at boltelectric.com.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan. For the people. Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Offices Tampa, St. Petersburg.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Lightning Radio pregame show continues. Greg Linnelli with you, getting you set for Lightning and Canadiens Game 7 tonight here at Benchmark International Arena. We'll be talking to Dave Mishkin and the Hall of Famer Phil Esposito in just a bit. We talked about Gage Gonsalves and what he did last game, the game-winning goal. It was a tremendous moment for him. And our broadcast assistant, Rachel West, had an opportunity to talk to Gage afterwards. And let's listen to it right now on Lightning Radio.
Gage, I have to start with that massive game-winning goal, Game 6 the other night. What were the emotions like when you finally saw the puck go in the net?
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a blackout moment, and definitely something that I haven't really digested yet. Obviously, with moving on for tonight's game, but I'm sure after the series or after the year, it'll be something pretty cool to look back on.
Safe to say, probably the biggest goal of your life.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, now that we got that cleared up, that game, as I mentioned, finally getting the puck to go in. You guys not having a lot of puck luck. It was obviously the 1-0 game, scoreless until 3.5 periods in at that point. How do you balance the frustration of maybe knowing that you guys are playing a really solid game and just not having that luck, and then also just, knowing that you're doing that and having to just kind of stick with it?
Yeah, I think, we rely a lot on our guys that have been in those situations before. We have Macker, we have Pears, Gens that, have been in those tight kind of 0-0 games going into something, or, they've been a part of, probably 6-5 games in overtime too. So you kind of bounce ideas off them, and they do a really good job of keeping that frustration level down to 0 and kind of, getting us back to kind of that baseline of where our mindset's going to be at.
Obviously, big Game 7 tonight, best words in all of sports. A lot of the guys have been talking about how, this is the moment you dream of growing up when you're down in the basement or out in the backyard playing Game 7 playoffs. You haven't been in this moment before. First Game 7 of the playoffs for you. What are you expecting for tonight?
I'm expecting a hell of a crowd and a hell of a effort and commitment from our guys. we've done it all year, and now it's time to prove it.
It's obviously a big game, so you know that going in, but how do you balance the emotions of having to kind of step up to the plate there, knowing it's do or die, but also not trying to make too much of the moment?
I think you probably live in the moment for, you know, a little bit of warm-ups, maybe the national anthem, and after that you try and treat it like a regular game, but, you know, I think we're at our best when we play with emotion, so hopefully all those guys can put that, wear it on their sleeve there and put in a hell of an effort tonight.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gage, for the time. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks.
All right, Rachel, great job there with Gage Gonsalves, and hopefully another big game for Gage tonight against the Canadiens. For every home goal the Lightning score this season, Mosaic is donating $1,000 to the Goals for Food program. For every home hat trick, it's another $1,500, plus any overtime game means another $5,000 to help Greater Tampa Bay Food Banks. Thank you, Mosaic, for helping in the fight against hunger. When we return, we'll talk to the guys calling the game tonight, the radio voice of the Lightning, Dave Mishkin, and the Hall of Famer, Phil Esposito. It's coming up next on Lightning Radio.
As part of our 90th anniversary celebration, we have enhanced our cash-out refinance home loan. With our new limit, you can now receive up to 90% of your loan to value, providing you with more flexibility and financial freedom. If you have a $400,000 home, receive up to $360,000 with your cash-out refinance. Jumbo loans over $850,000 are available. Get cash for hurricane season, school expenses, or upcoming holidays. Ask about our new rates or learn more at gtefinancial.org/home-refi.
Amalie Motor Oil tips its hat to the manly man.
Manly man.
You had a beard before it was cool, like in 3rd grade.
Manly man.
You get up before the sun because it's lazy and weak.
Manly man, man.
And you know that nothing protects your engine better than Amalie Elixir Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Family owned and Tampa Bay grown.
AMALIE, better than it has to be. Amalie.
A proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
The fastest game on ice.
Nick Schmaltz, he's in. Schmaltz to step up. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
This Tampa Bay Lightning postseason is presented by Advent Health.
Stamkos, score! Steven Stamkos! Hold, shoots, blocked, it's over! It is over! The Lightning win Game 5! 3-2! Shooting, score! Garrison! The Lightning win it! 4-3 in overtime! They lead the series 3-2!
It's time to be the Thunder.
A lot across the blue line, maybe a 2-on-0. Puts it in front, Kucherov! Score! Kucherov!
Tonight's broadcast of the Tampa Bay Lightning is presented by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Rebound point! Score! Rated point! We're gonna have a Game 7! Rated point! Wins Game 6!
We're just moments away from puck drop. It's time for Lightning to strike.
Lightning hoping to strike tonight in advance. It is Game 7 here at Benchmark International Arena. Greg Linnelli with you. Let's bring in the guys calling the game tonight. The radio voice of the Lightning, Dave Mishkin. The Hall of Famer right next to me, Phil Esposito. Boys, it's great to be with you. And Phil, you know, you work hard all year to have this moment where hopefully it's to their advantage, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, Greg. You work all year to get this 7th game. If you have a 7th game in playoffs, which we have, and you're on your home ice. And you think about this, both teams are 1-2 at home.
Yeah.
This is, I can't tell you how evenly matched these two teams are. It doesn't matter. I don't think I've ever seen it this closely matched, David. Have you?
I can't remember another series that has been...
Everything's the same.
Not only has it been closely played, the scores have been close. Sometimes you have a close series, but one team might win a game 3-0. I mean, we've had 1 2-goal lead for 5.5 minutes in the entire series. It's crazy to think about. 4 overtime games, and most of the series has been played tied.
Yeah. I mean, it's like who makes that crucial mistake and when.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it's going to boil down to again tonight, which is 7th game. Who makes that crucial mistake, or who does something that really is good for your home team or your team? I want to say home team because we're at home, right? But other than that, I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of hockey over my lifetime. That game the other day was one of the great games I've ever watched played. It really was something. And I expect something similar tonight.
Well, what made that game interesting, Phil, first of all, it was the lowest game in the series, 1-0 in overtime, but it probably had the most scoring chances of any game.
The goalies were unbelievable.
So it was more wide open than what we have seen.
Right.
I don't think either coach wants to sign up for that maybe
no,
tonight.
You're right. Maybe you're right, David, but the goalies, if Vasilevsky plays like he did the other night, I got to tell you, we're in. I feel that, you know. He was just spectacular. And so was Dobish.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made some great saves. Even in the game 5 we lost here, in that last 2 minutes when we pulled the goal out, 10 saves.
Yeah.
And he made some darn good ones. So it's anybody's guess, folks. But of course, we're pulling for the Lightning. Well, who else will we be pulling for?
Well, one lineup change on the Montreal side. So Noah Dobson, who's one of their top defensemen this year, blocked a shot, hurt his hand or thumb late in the regular season. He is in, so he will take the place of Arbor Xhekaj. He will not be paired with Mike Matheson, though, who was his partner through most of the year. And I think that there's some sense to that. He's just coming in, so he's going to be paired with Struble on the third pair, at least to start this game. And Carrier, who's had a great series playing with Matheson, stays with Matheson. No lineup changes for the Lightning. Andrei Vasilevsky in the net to our left in the first period. Lightning scale left to right in their home blue jerseys, white numbers. Jakub Dobish in the net to our right for the Canadiens, who go right to left in the first in their road white jerseys, blue numbers, and red shoulders. This season of Lightning Hockey is presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. The officials, Phil.
Well, tonight we have Wes McCauley and we have Chris Rooney, both veteran referees. And the linesmen are Scott Cherry and Matt McPherson, also veterans. So we hope that the game is officiated properly, and we expect it to be.
We did have 3 power plays apiece in Game 6, but I felt that game had more 5-on-5 flow than maybe any other game in the series.
That's what made it so exciting, too.
Yeah.
The wide openness of it and going back and forth. And great opportunities by both teams.
The winner of this game will take on the Sabres, who have advanced to the second round. That series will start in Buffalo on Wednesday. The loser, of course, will see their season come to an end. But look, whoever loses this game, I think they can hold their
head really high.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a terrific series, and both teams are deserving of advancing.
Without a doubt. Both teams have played very, very well and had their moments of not good, but mostly both teams have been terrific. I mean, you look at all the stats, folks, when we were looking at it, almost everything is exactly the same. Exactly the same.
We've had 6 one-goal games, so the goal total is tied through 6 games. All right, introductions are done.
Yeah.
Let's turn things over to Paul Porter.
And now, please welcome Amanda Breivogel as she performs the Canadian National Anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. nice and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And now with the presentation of our nation's colors, please welcome the Hillsborough County Fire Rescue Honor Guard. And we're honored to be joined by a member of the greatest generation who at 18 joined the U.S. Army Air Corps in 1944 and trained to become a commissioned pilot during World War II. Just last month, he celebrated his 100th birthday. Tampa Bay, please welcome and salute Private First Class James Wiley. And now let's sing loud and proud with the voice of Bolts Nation, retired U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Sonia Bryson Kirksey, as she performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see?
For Game 7, Lightning Canadiens.
Boy, I like when the fans, they sang it out, that national anthem, didn't they?
Got Tony Dungy here to fire the Tesla coils. Marty St. Louis and Slavkovsky running on the line rushes with Suzuki and Caulfield, but he starts this game playing with Demidov and Evans. So Marty's mixed up his lines a little bit.
Right.
Like showing one thing in warm-ups and then doing something else.
Yeah, Lightning did that the other night in Montreal, if I remember correctly, too. But it doesn't mean much at this stage of the game. Guys have played with each other constantly. Here we're getting ready.
Jake Evans, Nick Paul at center ice. Won by Evans.
Boy,
Alexander Carrier walks it up the right wing. Feeds Demidov, who dumps this in. McDonough back to get it in the Lightning far corner. Slings it up the far boards, Gergensons. Walks it out to center ice and taps it in. Carrier collects. Carrier bumps it for Matheson in the near corner. Left wing Slavkovsky goes down the ice. It's going to be an icing. 22 seconds in, no score. Lightning get an ozone face-off.
Yep, and right away they make a change.
Point Gensel and Perry come over the boards. They played as a line in Game 6.
Got to be better on face-off. Evans is very good on him.
Yep. He's coming in at 64% in the series, and he wins this one on his forehand. Matheson Flips it out. Loving it down to Slavkovsky. In the neutral zone goes cross-ice. Carrier bumps it in. Braden Point tracks it. Point, a pass blocked. Lilleberg couldn't get it away from Evans. Holds it in. Left point Matheson. Matheson to the right point lane. Hudson shoots. Blocked. Rebound Demidov. Right circle. Ivan Demidov winds it to the Lightning far corner where Destu takes it away. Taps it around the near boards. Perry. He'll chip it out. Point pursues this, but Nick Suzuki has it first. Drops it for Dobson, making a series debut here. Noah Dobson walks it up the middle. Left wing Hudson. From the red line, he'll send it in. No score in the first. Anthony Cirelli feeds Moser behind the net. Lets it go to Darren Radish on the right wing. A little feed deflects to center ice. And it's going to bounce to Kucherov. Here comes Kucherov across the Montreal line. Right circle Hagel. A pass deflects back to Kucherov right corner. Kucherov shoots. That was a shot. Tricky shot. Save made Dobes. Kucherov on the rebound behind the net. Trying to center. It's blocked. Good play Hudson. Hudson counters. Lane Hudson to center ice. He's checked by Hagel. He does nudge it in. Anderson bumps Moser. Where's the puck? Anderson wedged off by Radish. Puck grabbed by Cirelli. Cirelli flips it up the middle. It does come out of the zone. Back to get it is Carrier. Anderson's still in there. Carrier has to wait for him to leave the zone. Actually, he'll just flip it in to the Lightning end. Radish has a couple of Canadians around him. Turns it up the near boards. Held in Gooley. Hayden Gooley takes a left point shot that got through. Save made Vasilevsky, and he holds on. Moser and Anderson, or that's Doc rather, exchanged shoves after the save was made. Tricky shot from Gooley got through. Vasilevsky to save. No rebound. 18-12 left and a scoreless first.
That was a good save because it was a pretty quick little wrist shot. And went through a screen. Vasi made the save. Puck bounces down, but he holds on, and then puts his glove over top of it and gets a whistle to the right of Andre Vasilevsky.
We'll monitor face-offs tonight, Phil. It's already 2-0 Montreal. Paul and Dano to the right of Vasilevsky. This is won by Paul. Destu behind the net. Slides on the left wing to Zemgus Girgensons. Walks it to the neutral zone. Gains the red line. Across the blue line to the left circle. He'll touch it to himself behind the net. And he chips to Emil Lilleberg, right circle. Lilleberg goes to the right corner, Gord. Yanni Gord checks, stays with it. Gord will cycle it. Right corner, Nick Paul. Looking for Girgensons, right circle. Zemgus Girgensons protects it. They'll feed a right point Lilleberg. Left point Destu. Right point Lilleberg. Bangs it behind the net. Hudson is there. Hudson trying to clear it up the far boards for Gallagher. He's checked by Girgensons. Lightning hold it in. Nick Paul left corner. Rims it back to Lilleberg at the right point. Nothing to the net yet on this shift. Lilleberg couldn't hold it in on his backhand. Tricky play. They'll regroup at center ice for Destu. Lightning are getting a change.
That is a hard play when that puck comes around the boards like that on your backhand. You heard me yell no. I thought the guy almost intercepted that cross-ice pass.
Destu winds up in front of the Lightning net. Nearly 3 minutes in, no score. Destu, left side feed Chernak, deflects it in. First of the puck, Struble, bumped by Gage Gonsalves. Puck got past both of them. Bolduc is checked by James. James looks to make a steal right corner. James battling Bolduc in the Canadiens near corner. It's going to come free to Kirby Doc. Doc trying to clear, held in Bjorkstrand right point. Left point McDonough. McDonough shoots, blocked in front, rebound. Bjorkstrand just lost it. Bolduc on a counter. Right side feed. Here is Texier to the Lightning end. Texier checked by McDonough. McDonough takes the puck away and feeds Chernak. Chernak waits for it in the near corner. Lines it up the right wing. Bjorkstrand safely out to center and James. James touches for Gonsalves. Across the Montreal line. Gonsalves pulls up right circle. Gonsalves banks it behind the net. It's going to pinball to Bjorkstrand left circle. Left circle James. James looks to hold us in. He'll wind it behind the Montreal net. Lightning are getting a change. Dobesh will play it for Doc. Kirby Doc bumps it around the far boards. Gensel will steal left corner. By the net, Gage Gonsalves. Put it in front. Point shoots.
What a save.
Dobesh. Great A for Braden Point. Dobesh the stop. Demidov the other way up the right wing. Ivan Demidov to the Lightning end. Slowed by Destu. And Destu takes the puck away. He's under pressure. Where is that puck? It's alive for Evans by the net. Right corner Demidov. Loses Point. Point slips it for Emil Lilleberg. No score in the first. Lilleberg walks it up the right wing and clears it. Lane Hudson returns for Evans. Back to the Montreal zone and Dobson. And again, Lane Hudson. Hudson marches to the center ice circle. Across the Lightning line, left point. Shovels to Jake Evans behind the net. He's checked by Destu. Puck grab Lilleberg. Needs a clear here for Gensel. Trying to clear it. Held in Hudson left point. Nice feed center point Slavkovsky. Back for Lane Hudson left point. Hudson Angle center point. Hudson shoots, blocked, and Gensel busts out. 3-on-3 to center. Maybe at the end of a shift here. He'll feed to Cirelli. Cross the Montreal line, left circle. Gensel put it in front for Hagel. Great stick right there by the back-checking Canadiens player Slavkovsky, prevented the pass from reaching Hagel, who was open down the right wing. Puck out of play. 15:26 left in a scoreless first.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it's pretty good action so far. A lot of up and down. Lightning, I think, are doing pretty well so far. Face-off will be to the left of Dovish. Point had a great opportunity. He just couldn't get it up.
Didn't Nick Paul win that defensive zone
Yes,
face-off?
he did.
They have face-offs 3-0 Montreal.
What?
All right, this is a face-off to the left of Dovish.
Then they're wrong, because Paul won that face-off clean, too.
Cirelli and Suzuki won by Suzuki. Carrier winds it out around the far boards to Anderson. Anderson on the red line. Nice move across the ball. That looked offside. They said it was okay. Left circle Caulfield shoots, blocked by Moser. There's Radish by the Lightning net. Darren Radish. Anderson pressuring him. Left wing Hagel. Hagel going to force it out. He is bumped. Gets it back to Radish. Lightning still need to get the puck out. Radish off the far boards. Flips it out to center ice, and Carrier had it hit him and go into the Lightning bench. I think this is going to be a neutral zone face-off. 15:06 left in a scoreless first.
Yeah, it is. Hagel having words with a couple of the Montreal Canadian players. Face-off will be just outside the Lightning blue line.
Suzuki stays out there with Caulfield and Anderson.
So Cirelli stays out there.
Cirelli does win the draw. J.J. Moser controls in the Lightning end. Right wing to Radish. Feeds it up the right wing. Hagel touches it to the Montreal end. Matheson gets it back, though. Here's Suzuki on the right wing, back from Mike Matheson. And again, Suzuki at center, a pass, block, Kucherov a steal. Dangs it up the middle, Suzuki knocks it away. Here's Caulfield off the feed, cranking it in. Part around to Anderson. Josh Anderson left circle. Anderson bumped by Radish. Kucherov grabs. Kucherov slams it around the far boards. And Gord tried to hit Hagel up the middle. It got blocked. Nicely done there by Carrier. Here's Radish back to his own zone and J.J. Moser. Pressured by Suzuki. Moser will curl behind the Lightning net. Both sides get a change. 5.5 played in a scoreless first.
Kind of ambitious pass that time there.
Moser winds up. J.J. Moser walks it to center ice. A feed up the middle block, but it comes to Gord across the blue line. Gergensons. And they say offside. Kind of got slowed up as he tried to enter the offensive zone. Might have lost it, and then Gord put it in behind Gergensons. 14-16 left in a scoreless first. Chernak is having words with one of the Canadiens back in the Lightning end.
I don't know who it is.
Gallagher, maybe?
Joe can't see who it is.
Yeah, it is Gallagher. This is a face-off outside the Montreal blue line, though.
You know, they said we've only won one face-off. I know we won two. Right there was a face-off win, and then in the zone there, Paul won the face-off.
Yeah, I think they gave it to him because...
No, they didn't.
Oh, no, they didn't. They're missing one then.
Yeah.
Because Cirelli won one in the neutral zone.
These people, boy.
All right, here is Paul taking the draw against Deno from neutral ice. 50-50 won by the Canadiens. Hudson in his own end. Goes to Gooley in the left wing. To center ice, Deno deflects it in. Vasilevsky slows it for McDonough in the far corner. McDonough dodged a Gallagher check. Pumps it up the far boards. Gordon needs to get this puck out. It's going to deflect it. Gallagher, right circle shot. Deflected wide left. Rebound Gooley left circle. Lightning didn't execute that quite cleanly up. New hook behind the net. Right point to Hudson. Holds it in. Lane Hudson center point. Hudson shoots. Blocked. Rebound is loose. Gergensons trying to get this out. Lightning really have to bear down here. Yeah. Gergensons tucks it behind the net. Chernak wraps it around the near boards. Hudson steps up. Holds it in. Feeds it toward the slot. McDonough pumps it out. Great work there by the Canadiens to keep that play alive. Hudson back at center ice. Hurries for Deno. He'll shovel it in. Destu is fresh. A feed up the near boards. Comes to Gord. Right side feed Nick Paul. Tucks for Bjorkstrand. Oliver Bjorkstrand jams it into the Montreal end and chases. First to it is Texier, though. Around the far boards, it is Kirby Doc. Back for Texier over his stick. It slides into the Lightning end. Lilleberg jams it up the near boards. Where is it? Destu. Trying to go back to a teammate. Finds a stick of Gage Gonsalves. Nice little touch pass to Lilleberg. Lilleberg marches to center. Hits Bjorkstrand to the left wing. Will rattle it in. On the hard around, it's James right corner. James behind the net is checked. James looking to keep it alive. Dobson and Struble defend. Where's the puck? Dobson dislodges it for Alexander Texier. Texier flips it out. Radish waits for it and hammers it back in. We played over 7 minutes. No score in the first. Winding up, Jaden Struble. Headman feed Cole Caulfield to center. They'll chip it in. Moser first to it by the Lightning net. Moser wraps it around the far board. Cirelli traps it down, bangs it down the ice. It's going to be an icing. He wanted to get it out, but he didn't hit a teammate. 12:31 left in a scoreless first. Face-off back in the Tampa Bay end.
Yeah, this will come to the left, I'm pretty sure, of Vasilevsky. Although Montreal still hasn't indicated, yeah, they have now. It is to the left of Vasilevsky.
Cirelli and Suzuki. 50-50. It's bouncing around. Cirelli does get it. Chips for Kucherov behind the net. Kucherov, a touch pass, does find Moser's stick, and Moser clears. There's Hagel at center ice. Back for Kucherov. Zooming up the middle. Kucherov across the blue line. Right point, Cirelli. Touch for Kucherov behind the net. Kucherov checked by Matheson. Where's the puck? Suzuki grabs. Nice little feed up the middle to Carrier. Alexander Carrier weaves to the red line. Backhands it in. First to it is Moser. His two Canadians around him. He's checked by Anderson. Moser needs a little help here. Up the far boards, looking for Kucherov. Anderson a steal. Behind the net, Suzuki. Nick Suzuki looks to feed it. High slot. Matheson shoots off the goalpost.
Wow.
Just like that, up a turnover. The Lightning gave up a chance. Now a counter for Hagel. Up the middle, across the blue line.
Shoot it!
Tried to put it in
out
front.
loud. Oh, my Lord.
And he tried to pass to Cirelli and tried to pass to Kucherov, and neither connected. Demidov the other way for Slavkovsky. Back for Ivan Demidov. Across the blue line. Hands off Slavkovsky. Open here, left circle. Put it in front. Demidov tied up by Point. Might have saved a goal. Lightning have to bear down here. Point to center ice and Perry. He'll chip this in, or did he not? It's an icing. They said he never touched it. Well, a couple of close calls for the Lightning. Matheson put one off the post, and Point might have saved a goal there, tying up a stick on a back post feed.
He did. He came back and did a good job with it, too. But Slavkovsky goes across to Demidov, and no chance. I mean, a good back check by the Lightning guy. Face off to the left.
Evans and Gensel.
Boy.
A little bit of a push here from the Canadians.
Hagel had a chance to shoot it twice, and he tried passing.
50-50 in the face-off. Moser loses Demidov. Lightning are losing some puck battles right now. Slavkovsky checked by Chernak. The puck is still loose. It bobbles to Hudson, the right point. Lane Hudson. Left point Dobson. Shoots. Saved by Vasilevsky. Puck grab by Corey Perry. Perry will wind it up the middle. It comes to Point at center ice. One-on-one against Hudson. Point across the line. Right circle. Shot. Save made by Dobesh. Right. He got it on net. Event is going to be grabbed here by Juraj Slavkovsky. 3-on-3 up the left wing. Across the Lightning line. Slavkovsky
Go
left
back
circle.
in.
He shoots off the goalpost again.
Jesus. Bless me, guys.
At the right point, it's Hudson. Cross ace. Slavkovsky left circle shot. Save Vasilevsky. And Lilleberg grabs. A left side feed. Moser. Or that's Gensel, rather. Now it's Destu. Well, two goalposts hit by the Canadians.
Well, right
Still
there,
a 0-0 game.
Lightning defense backed right in.
Canadians are having a little bit more of a shooting mentality, although Point tried that one. Now a bad pass here. Destu to Chernak misses, and it's going to be an icing again against the Lightning.
Those are the type of things that will come back and haunt you. Right there, there's no reason why Chernak missed that pass.
Not a bad shot from Point, but that really wasn't a scoring chance.
No,
however, the Lightning are giving up some looks to the Canadians.
Big time looks.
There's a big draw here between Paul and Danault. If the Lightning can get a whistle, they'll get the TV timeout. Paul wins it with his skate for Chernak. They'll rattle for Gord. He'll clear. Gergensen gets to it at the red line and slams it in. Here's Gord, right circle. Bumping it behind the Montreal net. Danault is checked by Nick Paul. Puck comes free, though, to Jaden Struble. Left side, Alan Newhook. Back for Struble. Cross ice on the right wing. It's Gooley. Up the middle, Gallagher dumps this in. It's flipped out to center ice by Chernak.
No. Oh, wow.
Top pass. Gord did get to Paul. Nice job by Paul to force it for Gergensen. He dumps it in. Dobesh cranks it around the near boards. Gord a block right circle. Tries to center it. It got intercepted. Brendan Gallagher. Lightning really aren't crisp right now with their execution. Gallagher to Danault. Back for Gallagher. Dumps this in. Under 10 to play in the first, no score. Radish bumps it up the far boards. Gonsalves looking to hustle to get to it for James. Dominic James scoots out to center ice. James juking his way up the middle. Onside across the blue line, right point to Radish. Darren Radish holds. Radish, right corner, James.
Somebody go in front.
James shoots from the side of the net. On net, save made. Radish, right point shot blocked. Here's James behind the net. Dominic James leaves it for Bjorkstrand, right corner. Trying to go to James behind the net. Tied up by Bolduc. Bolduc slips it up the near boards. Grabbing the puck is Matheson. A little feed, stolen, Gage Gonsalves. High slot, James shoots, they made, rebound, Bjorkstrand golfed it wide left. He was being tied up by Matheson. Bjorkstrand again, left circle. Bjorkstrand shoots, missed it wide right. Here's Radish, right circle, firing wide left. Good shift here for the Lightning. J.J. Moser, left circle. By the net, Gonsalves looks to lead for James. Dominic James wins it. James looks to center. It's blocked. Rebound, Gonsalves shoots, blocked again. The puck is alive. Comes to Radish, right point. Right point, Bjorkstrand tees it up. Shoots, blocked again.
Oh, no.
And it's out of the zone. No. Bjorkstrand looks to get it away from Bolduc. Bolduc busting on the right wing into the Lightning zone right circle. Backhand shot, he put it wide right. Canadians want to change here. And off that change, the puck slides out of the zone. Well, good chip for the Lightning. Stays 0-0. Dobson. Right wing, Bolduc deflects this in. Puck slowed by Vasilevsky behind the net, McDonough. A little feed does barely get out of the zone. Kucherov then brings it back to his own end. He's stripped by Caulfield, left circle. Shoots! Oh, he just missed wide right. Lightning have to be cleaner in their own zone right now. Hudson left point. Delivers it behind the Lightning net. It's going to pinball to Suzuki, right circle. Suzuki checked by Radish. Puck grab by Cirelli. And Cirelli carries it out to center. Anthony Cirelli up the middle. Across the Montreal line, chips to Kucherov, right circle. Kucherov, puck bobbles on him. Centers it. Blocked. Anderson on a counter.
What was that?
Anderson clears to Caulfield at center ice. Cole Caulfield ready for a change. Drops it back to his own zone and Dobson. Under 8 to play and a scoreless first. Here's Lane Hudson off the feed in the left wing. Taking it back in his own end. He'll swing for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky busting up the left side at center. Across the Lightning line, left circle. A little centering feed skips through, and Jake Gensel collects. Gensel nearly lost it, but does touch the point at center ice. Point will force it in to the Montreal end and chase. Struble looks to jam it away from Point. Point in the far corner, trying to win it. Point does win it, but it bounced off his stick. Evans a steal. Jake Evans, left side outlet, Gooley. 7:22 left and a still scoreless first. Across the line, Demidov. Demidov checked by Destu. Puck grab by Perry. He'll flip it out. On it is Lilleberg. Actually bounced over his stick. Goes back to his own zone. He's checked by Evans. Lightning have to start thinking north. They're fooling around a little bit in their own zone. Demidov gets it. Put it in front for Slavkovsky over his stick. That was a puck in the neutral zone. The Lightning brought it back to their own end and lost it. Destu, a pass almost blocked. Finally out of the zone. Canadian sticks are everywhere right now. Finally to the red line. Perry bangs it in. Dobesh turns for Matheson in the near corner. He'll connect with Gallagher at center ice, but that's an icing. He deflected it in from the wrong side of the red line. 6:49 left in a scoreless first. Canadians have two shots on net, but they've hit two goalposts.
Yes, they have, and Lightning have been
coming out of the defensive zone at points in the series has been a problem. Not the whole series, but tonight it's been a problem.
Their passing coming out of the zone has not been good, and they've been taking chances. And sooner or later, you take that many chances, it's going to bite you.
Paul and Dano following the icing. Paul wins it. McDonough center point. Left circle Gord. Left circle Paul. Shoot save made. Rebound Gord behind the net. Yanni Gord tied up. Matheson checked by Gergensons. Puck grab by Yanni Gord, right circle. Gord with 6:35 left in a scoreless first is being checked along the near boards. Puck battle. Carrier there along with Matheson. Gord and Gergensons for the Lightning. Who's going to come up with a puck? It's not frozen yet. They still let the players battle. Finally, it's bouncing around. Gord trying to keep it alive. Slips it toward Dobesh. Dobesh paddles it away. Gallagher. Gallagher bangs it out. I don't think this is going to be an icing. No. Newhook chasing Chernak. Chernak does clear it, but there's going to be an icing against the Lightning. So we still haven't taken our first TV timeout. The whistles we've had have not allowed us to do it. So now the Lightning have a dicey situation here with tired guys out on the ice. Still no score, 6:03 left in the first.
I'm surprised that they haven't taken a commercial yet. Oh, well, face-off comes to the left of Vasilevsky. That's what they choose.
Paul and Suzuki. So the Suzuki line out there, and Suzuki wins the draw. Hudson high slot. Left point Dobson shot it, and it got stopped by Vasilevsky off the blocker. Might have been going high, but he got the blocker on it to deflect it out of play. We'll get the TV timeout. 5:59 left in a scoreless first on Lightning Radio.
Jack Daniels is proudly served in fine establishments, questionable joints, and everywhere in between. So, no matter where you go in every bar, you'll always know someone by name.
Jack. Jack and Coke?
Shot of Jack.
Jack Daniels, please.
Right away.
That's what makes Jack, Jack.
Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Copyright 2025 Jack Daniels. Tennessee whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. 80 proof.
Living in Central Florida comes with trade-offs. With sunshine and warmth for about 6 months of the year, we get lots of outdoor fun and adventures. But that also means we're cooling our houses for longer and using more energy than people living in other states. That's why Tampa Electric offers tips, tools, and programs to help you get ahead of your summer bill while still staying comfortable. So, before things really heat up, visit tampaelectric.com/spring and start your spring energy tune-up today.
Lightning fans, it's time to save big on Bubble Days at Bubble Down Car Wash. Wear your Tampa Bay Lightning gear Monday through Friday and get your car washed for just $5 all season long. Support your favorite team and keep your ride shining with this amazing deal. Clean cars, big savings, and unbelievable service. That's what makes us the bestest car wash in town. Get the cleanest car in town every time you bubble down. Bubble Down Car Wash, a proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
No score with 5:59 left in the first. Shots are 7-3 Lightning. I don't think that really tells the story of this game. I feel the Canadiens have been the more dangerous team.
Oh, they hit the goalpost twice.
Yeah.
And, it's like the Lightning hitting the goalpost twice the other night. Those are things that happen, but we're still mess around a little bit too much in our zone with these soft passes.
And in the offensive zone.
And the same thing. Yeah. You're right, David. You're absolutely right.
Now, the James line, they were looking to direct pucks to the net.
Yeah. Here's a big face-off here, and it's to the right of Vasilevsky.
Both Suzuki and Cirelli on their weak side. Suzuki is tossed. He's not happy about it. So Anderson will take the draw against Cirelli. Cirelli does win it. Puck grab by Darren Radish. Spins it to center ice. Hagel touches to Kucherov. Across the Montreal line. Kucherov, left circle Hagel. Shoots. That was blocked in front by Hudson. He didn't get a lot on it, did Hagel. Suzuki drops it for Hudson. Right side feed Dobson. Back for Lane Hudson. 5:40 left in the first. Feed at the right side, connects with Caulfield, he'll jab it in. Vasilevsky leaves it by the Lightning net for Moser. Wraps for Radish up the right wing. Darren Radish bounces it to center ice. Hudson blocks it. Looks for Anderson. Lightning can't get it. Anderson forces it in. Moser does hit Cirelli. Can Cirelli exit? Launch it to center ice, blocking it. Gooley. Gooley goes to Anderson, who was going to the bench. He stays out to flip it in. Lightning's execution right now up the ice, not crisp probably as it's going to need to be. Kucherov with the feed from Radish will deflect it into the Montreal end. Approaching 5 minutes left in the scoreless first. Here's Matheson. Handing off to Caden Gooley. Up the left wing to the red line, he sends it in. Puck in the heart around Gonsalves. Bumps for Chernak by the net. Golfs it around the near boards. Bjorkstrand bangs it out. Nicely done. Matheson collects it in the Montreal end. Feed to Dock at center ice. Lost to Gonsalves. Gonsalves a dump in. Blocked. Gooley has it back. Caden Gooley. Left side feed for Bolduc. Deflects this in. No score in the first. McDonough collects the puck. On his backhand up the near boards. Chernak. Does feed James at center ice. And now Bjorkstrand. 2-on-1 maybe. Across the line. Bjorkstrand right circle. Left circle. Gonsalves cuts in front. Backhand shot. Save it.
What a save.
He got open and he was a little off balance, but Dobich made the save. Texier bangs it out of the zone. Lightning have had two tremendous chances that Dobich has stopped. Destu will bang it back in.
That was a great play by Gonsalves.
Gonsalves takes a check behind the net from Struble. Now will allow Gooley to come up with the puck. 4:10 left in the scoreless first. Gooley goes back to Jaden Struble. Both sides get a change. Canadians go right to left in the first. Jaden Struble looking things over. Left side outlet, Gooley to center ice. It is Demidov bouncing this in. Destu by the Lightning net. A pass blocked by Slavkovsky again. Slavkovsky centers it. It's going to be grabbed by Hudson left circle. Lane Hudson pulls up. Hudson dogged by Gord. Hudson will control at center point. Keeps it alive. Dobson left point shot to a screen. Steals wide right. Rebound is loose. Hudson after it. But Girgensons comes up with it. Maybe a 2-on-1. Right wing Paul. The Canadians back defensively. Paul across the one. Right circle shot. Save made Dobich.
Good shot. Good shot.
Drops the puck but holds on to the rebound. Paul had to let the shot go. I don't think Girgensons was going to be open for a pass. No. The Canadians are really hustling back defensively. No score in the first. 3:32 left in the first on Lightning Radio.
Spectrum TV Fixed TV, and combined all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32, blue 32. Hi. It's only more Hail Marys.
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over 100 hours worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox One, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Amalie Motor Oil tips its hat to the manly man.
Manly man.
You one time wrestled a bear for $50.
Manly man.
You always order the lumberjack breakfast.
Manly man, man.
And you know that nothing protects your engine better than Amalie Elixir Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Family owned and Tampa Bay grown.
AMALIE, better than it has to be. Amalie.
A proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Lightning tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/lightning.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Well, the Lightning have not had, I don't think they've had as much possession as the Canadiens. They just took a shot away from Montreal. So shots are 9-2 Lightning, but there's no question Dobesh has had to make some key saves on point and especially on Gage Gonsalves on an odd man rush.
Yeah, Gonsalves made a great move. Unfortunately, he was a little bit he was too close to the net when he made the move, but he had to. He had to make it quickly, and he did. And Dobesh came up with the save.
Yep,
but
he did.
Great move by Gonsalves.
Bjorkstrand got the pass across.
Yes, he did.
And Gonsalves was able to make a move around a Montreal defender to get open in front, but he kind of didn't have a lot of real estate.
So far, that's been the best Lightning line in this game so far.
Point and Deno on the draw, 50-50, controlled by the Canadiens. Slavkovsky looks to clear, and it does come out to center ice. Philip Deno into the Lightning end, left point. Directs it behind the Lightning net. New hook there. New hook checked by Perry. Looks to keep it alive. Slavkovsky. He'll lose point. Nicely done, Braden Point. Point busts up the left side at center. Point across the blue line. Onside. Leaves to the right point. Spins to Perry, left circle. Perry looks to guide for Gensel by the net. Gensel in a puck battle with Slavkovsky. Gensel tried to roll it to the near corner. Matheson there. Matheson left side outlet. Alex Newhook. 3-on-3 to the red line. He'll flip it in. Pursuing is Deno. Jostling with Destoop. No score with under 3 to play in the first. Puck is going to be grabbed by nobody yet. Destoop still battling in that near corner with Philip Deno.
Look behind you.
Not yet whistled for a frozen puck. We had one of these earlier in the period in the Montreal end. This one in the Lightning end. Who's going to get free? Newhook does. Newhook puts it to the right circle. Carrier shoots. They made it. Gets it again. Shut away right. That off a puck battle the Lightning lost. Point up the far boards. Gensel needs to clear it out, and he will.
You heard me say, look to behind you, and that was Gensel. I saw the guy sneaking in. Nobody was watching him.
This should be an icing. A long outlet from Matheson missed Suzuki. He was trying to catch the Lightning in a change. Whoa. Instead, it's an icing. Well, both goalies have come up big already in this first period. 2:19 left in a scoreless first.
A great save by Vasilevsky there. I saw it happening. I don't know whether he heard me, David. I said, look behind you.
Yeah.
It was Gensel. He was watching the
Lightning
four
guys in the corner.
Exactly. And Gensel was in no man's land, actually. And they got him past, and Vasi had to make the tremendous save.
D-zone face-off win for Suzuki. The puck cleared by Gooley to center. Here's a regroup for J.J. Moser, right-wing Radish. Radish from the red line. Bounces it in. Hagel pursues. Brandon Hagel, right circle. For Cirelli, right circle Hagel. Right circle Kucherov whiffs on a shot. Puck went over a stick. Caulfield out to Suzuki at center. Knuckleballs it to Anderson. Back for Suzuki. Well done. Across the line, Nick Suzuki, right circle. Suzuki looks to center it. And it got deflected by Radish. Stays in play. Caulfield left point Gooley. Gooley directs it by the Lightning net. Radish is there. Radish a little pass. Anderson, too cute. Anderson by the net, tries to center. Radish a block. Anderson again, left corner. Drive to left point. Gooley shoots. Saved by Vasilevsky. Rebound bounces to Moser. J.J. Moser checked by Cole Caulfield. Key shift here for the Canadiens and Lightning with 1:30 left. Moser battling with Caulfield behind the net. It's going to bounce to Anderson, left corner. Left point, Caden Gooley. Gooley shoots. score. Tipped, I think, by Nick Suzuki. The Canadiens go up 1-0 with 1:21 left in the first. That's the first even-strength goal scored by the Suzuki line when they were on the ice.
Well, it was the Lightning had a chance.
They fumbled the puck away.
That's right. They had a chance to clear it. They've been fumbling a little bit too much. And a shot from the point, and Suzuki just redirects it in.
A little wrist shot from Gooley.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
A little wrist shot. Suzuki's shot. He's way out by the hash marks.
And off the post and in, too.
Off the post and in. I mean, perfect tip.
Yeah, it went on Moser. It was going wide, Phil.
Oh,
so the Canadiens got a bounce, but they earned the bounce. You could just feel it coming. That the Lightning had a chance to get it out, didn't. And they're down 1-0. Puck alive at center ice for Bjorkstrand. He will get checked. Dominic James follows up in the Lightning end. Lightning down 1-0. Left wing Gonsalves bounces it to center ice, and James loses Jake Evans. Evans slings it in. A minute to go in the first. Lightning down 1-0 in game number 7. McDonough by the Lightning net. The Lightning net is off. McDonough feeds Bjorkstrand at center ice, deflects this in. I think once the Canadiens touch it, this will be a whistle. 52.9 seconds left in the first. So Suzuki the goal from Gooley and Anderson. Suzuki's first goal in the series, but his 6th point.
Oh, boy, that's sad. Too bad.
Well, the Canadiens didn't get bounces earlier in the period when they hit the posts. And that time they did get a bounce. But the details of the game, I mean, with the Suzuki line out there, you cannot get fancy. You just can't. I mean, the Lightning haven't really done it in the series. But that time, they got a little cute trying to come out of the defensive zone, and the puck was stripped.
Yes, sir. And they come back, to put the net back on the pegs.
We're going to go to TV timeout, I think. They're calling for it.
There's the red light.
All right. Final minute of the first. 1-0 Montreal on Lightning Radio.
With Marathon Rewards, you'll earn on every fill-up, which is amazing news for every kind of driver out there. Whether you're a wait forever to filler-upper, a routine topper offer, a relentless road tripper, an occasional commuter, or just a regular old point A to beer, everyone can earn rewards and save up to $1 a gallon. And you can join Marathon Rewards online, through the app, and even at the pump, making signing up easy for every kind of signer-upper. At participating locations, terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Dave Mishkin. Join Greg Linnelli and me every weekday at noon Eastern for Lightning Power Lunch. It's a full hour of Lightning hockey talk to keep you up to date on everything happening with the team. You can listen live in the Lightning mobile app or catch the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and X by following @Bolts Radio. Miss the live show? No problem. Download the podcast anytime in your favorite podcast app. That's Lightning Power Lunch, weekdays at noon, only on the Lightning Audio Network.
Going on vacation? We're here for it. With kids who turn a backseat into a courtroom drama over whose tablet is louder, whose charger is faster, and why watching the same cartoon for the 100th time is a human right? Yep, we totally have vehicles to handle that. Because whether it's a road trip or a business trip, where your flight's delayed, your phone's at 2%, and your dinner, whatever's open, yeah, here for that too. Enterprise, we're here for it.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
A goal for Nick Suzuki, 1-0 Montreal. Came late in the first period. We're still in the first period, 52.9 seconds remaining in the opening frame. Draw to the left of Dobesh, who's made 9 saves in the first. Some more difficult than others. His best on Gonsalves on basically an in-alone chance. Gensel and Deneau.
Face off to the left.
Gensel does win it. Well, false start. They're going to reset the clock.
Why is that a sauce? Because we won the draw. Oh, they're kicking them out, though.
Yeah. So point and Deneau on the draw. Gensel's getting a new stick.
Now, Kucherov comes to the right side here. Point's a right-handed draw. So he's drawing it towards Kuch. Mm-hmm. That's where Kuch has got to jump in quicker than the other guy, Carrier, I think it is. I can't see his number.
Yeah, you're right.
Carrier. He's got to jump in there quicker and get to 50-50.
Well, Deneau wins it fairly cleanly.
Yeah,
Matheson slides it out to Newhook. Newhook, right side feed It is Suzuki will dump it in. Newhook after it by the Lightning net. Point there. Braden points in a traffic jam. This is where the Lightning have had their most problems in this first period. Turning pucks over in their own end, and here's another one. Matheson to the left circle. Delivers it cross ice. Grabbing it, Carrier right circle. Carrier checked by Gensel. Following him, Newhook. Newhook winds it by the Lightning net. Deneau is there. Philip Deneau with 25 in the period. Deneau loses point. Point flips this out. It's going to bounce to Carrier in the Montreal end. Zips it for Suzuki. Suzuki peels back to the Montreal zone. Gives to Mike Matheson. 12 seconds left in the period. Canadians get a final change here. Leading by 1. Right side feed, it's Carrier. Carrier to the red line. Launches it in. Puck played by Chernak in the Lightning near corner. Lost it, Suzuki. Left circle feed, Carrier took a shot that's blocked by Gage Gonsalves, and that'll do it. So the first period comes to an end. Unfortunately, the Lightning have not had a lead after the first period at all in the series, and in a number of games they've been down, including Game 5. They are down here 1-0 after 1. Greg has the first intermission report coming up on Lightning Radio.
Download the official Tampa Bay Lightning mobile app, presented by Spectrum, to stay informed on the Bolts all season long. Plus, you can now watch Bolts games right in the app. Visit TampaBayLightning.com/mobile app for more information. Be the Thunder.
Spectrum TV fixed TV and combined all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32, Blue 32, hot hike. It's only more Hail Marys.
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over $100 worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox 1, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
The best way to celebrate a Bolts victory is with a Papa John's pizza. The day after the Bolts get the W, you get 50% off pizzas online at papajohns.com. Just go online or on the Papa John's mobile app and use promo code BOLTSW. That's promo code BOLTSW for 50% off regular menu price pizzas online the day after a Bolts victory. Papa John's Pizza, the official pizza partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Offer valid online for pizzas only at participating locations. Not valid with any other offers. Delivery fee and taxes extra and are not subject to discount offer.
The Bone is giving you $1,000 5 times a day, every weekday. Just listen for the Bone bonus keyword at 8, 10, noon, 2, and 5. Head over to the free 1025 The Bone app and enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000. It's the Bone Bonus. Presented to you by Farah and Farah, Tampa's accident attorneys. FarahandFarah.com. 1025 The Bone.
Man, these nights have been cold.
Not that cold.
Well, you're from Mississippi, honey. We're not used to winter in Florida.
Especially at night if your power goes out.
Yeah, if that happens, call Bolt Electric.
And we're on our way.
Better yet, call us before that happens to you.
We'll give you our home electrical health and safety check so you can rest comfortably.
We're also experts in installing whole home surge protection.
Guaranteed to protect your electrical system from energy surges.
Just call Bolt.
Online at boltelectric.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace. What's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta, over rebounds, under assists, method of first basket, free throw, Peace.
Huh. So you really can same game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar & Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar & Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Tampa.
If I Gensel, score! Hat-trick, Jake Gensel!
This is the Lightning Audio Network's first intermission report. Here's Greg Linnelli.
It's going to bounce to Anderson, left corner. Left point, Caden Gooley. Gooley shoots! Score! Tipped, I think, by Nick Suzuki. The Canadians go up 1-0 with 1:21 left in the first. That's the first even-strength goal scored by the Suzuki line when they were on the ice.
Mish on the call. Yeah, that goal, that puck went off J.J. Moser as well into the net. So Not much you can do if you're Vasi there. The Lightning had problems getting the puck out of their own zone on that goal. Dominic James and his line might be the best line for Tampa Bay in that first period. And Montreal also hit 2 posts. We'll talk about it with our panel in just a bit. It's 1-0 Montreal here at the end of 20 minutes. With Spectrum, it's only getting all of the sports with over $100 worth of streaming apps and live TV included at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com. E is standing by with a Lightning player. Let's go to him now on Lightning Radio.
Thanks, Greg. We are here with Charles-Edouard Destu. And Chucky, Game 7s, we know all about it. At what point does it become another hockey game?
Yeah, just another hockey game. Obviously, the stakes are a little bit bigger, but I think we just have to play as another one. Like, we know what to do. We know our job. Just have to stick to the game plan.
So you guys talked a lot this morning about being in the game plan and sticking to the game plan. I know you're down 1-0, but how was that game plan in the first period?
I think we started really well. Maybe the last couple of shifts, we started losing our battle in D-zone. But overall, I think it was a pretty good period. We came out pretty good, so we just have to keep going.
And what is it you liked about the first period you want to carry over here to the second?
Our hound in the O-zone, I think. We brought some pucks to the net, and we created a lot of scoring chance. We just have to put one in.
As always, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's Charles-Edouard Destu from the locker room. Back to you, Greg.
Thanks, boys. That interview was presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lightning had 9 shots on goal in that first period. Let's bring in our panel to discuss. Ben Pierce, Bobby the Chief Taylor with us right now. Chief, I'll go to you first. Anything can happen when you get the puck to the net in Montreal. That happens.
It's the same thing that happens all year long. When you have 5 guys in the corner within 6 feet of the puck, and there's a guy wide open in front, and nobody looks to see what's going on. Nobody looks around to see where the danger could come from. It's been time and time and time again this happened. Montreal didn't even have a sniff, really. Bassi made a big blocker save, but that was the best chance they had, yeah. But you can't keep doing that. I mean, I don't understand their thought process. Why does 5 guys have to be in the corner with 2 Canadians? Blows my mind.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's unfortunate, because Vasi was great that whole period. It was a kind of a similar thing to what Chief's talking about, right? Everybody gets caught in the corner, and all of a sudden they had that great chance in the right circle. Same idea, right? That defenseman's wide open. Vasi makes a save, but it's not a big deal. But it's like, you could see that play developing, and I know it's easier when we're in the press box. I get it, but you could see, you're like, if they lose this battle on the boards, that's a great A, right? We could all see it. We're like, no. And as soon as the puck came out, we're like, here we go, right?
But see, the thing is too, if you do lose the battle on the boards, he's not going to score from the corner of the rink.
Right.
The guy in front of the net or the guy in the point, they're the guys that are going to score, and yet we don't pay any attention to them. That's what bothers me about that whole thing when you get 5 guys looking at the puck. He can't score from there. So what if he wins it?
Yeah.
Now he has to come out and make a play. But if he gets the play, comes right out, the bang, you've got a guy wide open. I don't know.
It's frustrating for you, Chief. I understand that for sure. What did you make of what you saw through 20 minutes?
Well, it was a lot to like. The way they started, they didn't start on their heels. They started on their toes. They were pushing the pace. The pucks were getting in the offensive zone. They were creating opportunities. And then all of a sudden, once Montreal started to win some of those puck battles in the defensive zone, the game sort of tilted in their favor a little bit. And, they take advantage of that when it happens. And, to Chief's point, when you've got all 5 guys in the same area and you do lose the battle, you've got a lot of open ice that, you're not going to be able to get to. Can't cover the points. You're leaving the middle area of the ice open. You can't get a guy there fast enough because you're so close to the puck. You got to spread it out a little bit, I think, and kind of get away from those areas. But the other thing is, too, like, if they didn't have bad puck luck in this series, they'd have no luck at all. Right, that puck was going wide. It hits Moser, ends up in the back of the net. I don't know how many pucks have gone off Lightning defensemen in this series.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good point. Gage Gonsalves, I thought, was really good, that line with James and Bjorkstrand. And Ben, he almost had a highlight reel goal.
That was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Great move by him. He doesn't get the goal to go in, but that line before that chance, I thought, was tremendous, right? They find a way to pin Montreal in their own zone. They get multiple good looks, and when they lost the puck, they were hungry to get it back, right? It wasn't a one chance and let Montreal break out of the zone. It was get a shot on net, and whoever the weak side guy was, the puck went to the far corner. They were on that puck. I mean, they were all over Montreal for the entire shift. I was really impressed with that line. You know, when you talk about Dominic James' speed, it doesn't always have to be open ice, right? It doesn't always have to be bursting up the zone. If you can have those fast first couple steps and you beat that guy to the corner from 6 feet away, that's a big deal in this game, right?
Yep.
I thought they were tremendous. And honestly, Oliver Bjorkstrand, these last couple games has looked really, really good, right? For a guy that wasn't in the lineup at the end of the year, he was kind of in and out. He's been really good with that, too. I really like that trio. They were for sure, I think, the team's best line.
Yeah, their speed really helps them. But you know what it is? Their desire to get to the puck and win it.
Yes.
Accompanied with that speed, they're going to give Montreal all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get to the guy. You don't want to get in there when the guy's already turned and facing you to see where the danger's coming from. You want to make sure that guy's going back for the puck has got his face in the glass. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Because then they can't see where to dish the puck off. So that's what helps with Bjorkstrand and Gonsalves and James. They get in there fast, and nobody likes to play with their face in the glass all night long.
No.
And that's why with the speed and getting on that guy is what you want to have happen.
Eddie, they probably, Coop and his staff, the top six for the Lightning might have been a little too quiet.
Yeah, you need Nikita Kucherov to be loud. That's the big thing. You need him to kind of be more engaged and locked in the moment. And, he's capable of making plays. We know that. And, certainly he draws a lot of attention, but he does any point in the season, too. Like, this is not anything new for him. So you've got to get him, feeling good and making a play. And, and also I don't want to see the way Brandon Hagel's played this year. I don't ever want to see him pass up a shot in the slot. Yeah. He's got to get that puck on net, right? Like, you've got to do something there. And the other thing I want to see, too, from everybody in this game, we've talked a lot about Dobish and his aggressiveness and everything else. He also leaves a lot of pucks out there. If you're as soon as a guy is gonna veer up to shoot, you gotta beeline to the net, because there's a good chance that puck is gonna pop loose somewhere near the net, just like it did on Gonsalves' winning goal in Game 6. Right, we saw a couple of other close chances in Game 6 too, where the puck just sat in the paint and they were just a half second behind getting to it. I think you need to get more bodies when shots are on goal. You don't always have to shoot to score. Sometimes you shoot to get that rebound, and if you get a body there, I think you can take advantage of some of these pucks he's letting out there.
And no penalties in that first period, and that might be a theme for the rest of the evening, Chief.
Oh, yeah, I think the referees take that little bubble, that little pee out of the whistle when it comes to starting the game in the playoffs. But no, they're letting them play. It hasn't been as chippy in the first period as we've seen the prior 6 games.
Yeah.
You can't afford to take penalties, really, because those power plays, Lightning's power play hasn't worked real well, but it has the potential to be very dangerous. So you don't want to take penalties against them. The Lightning definitely don't want to take penalties against the Canadiens because of that power play.
Well, in 5-on-5 play has been dead even, right? Until that goal, I think goals were 9-9 at 5-on-5 this series, right? We talk so much about how the series is so push and pull, and it's the same way at 5-on-5. Montreal's power play has been quieted, right, by Tampa Bay over these last several games, but why test it, right? You like what you're doing in 5-on-5. Try to stick to 5-on-5. And again, like E said, there were a lot of really good things in that period for the Lightning. I think the last 2 games, they've earned more rush opportunities, which is where this team is really good. We saw so many good rush chances this season when they shoot the puck, Chief, on the rush. But I like the fact that they are opening up some ice for themselves as well.
Yeah. There's no question at that. But for me, it's just look around in your own end. The danger's going to come from somewhere else other than in the corner of the rink.
Yeah.
That's where you have to understand where it's going to come from. And you can move quicker then. If you know where the guy is, and the guy, you say, well, that's the only guy that's open, then I guess where he's going to go to that guy if they do get the puck. So now I can get there quicker. But when you're not looking around to see where that is, you have to look around first and then react. Yeah. By then it's too late. This game's too fast.
E, final thoughts?
Yeah, just come out with the same approach and play on your toes, right? Don't be defeated by the one goal. I know, trailing again, having to chase the game again, but it's do or die, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter you gave up the first goal. You got to go out and continue to do things. Just start winning more of your puck battles in your defensive zone, and don't allow those plays to develop for Montreal, and then make sure you're doing the same thing down the other end.
Appreciate it, boys. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right. Bye to the Chief Taylor, Ben Pierce, Eric Rollinson. with us right there. Hey, on this week's Block Party Podcast, presented by Highlight IPA, Greg Wolf and Pat Maroon, we're joined by Ryan Wynn, host of Kick Ice. They discuss his hockey journey, watching his sister win the gold medal in Italy, and our new show, Kick Ice. The Block Party is available in your favorite podcast app and on the Lightning's YouTube channel. Also, Steel is powering the future with professional-grade battery tools built for real-world work. Montreal leads 1-0 at the end of 20 minutes. Dave Mishkin and the Hall of Famer Phil Esposito. They'll have that second period call when we return on Lightning Radio.
Whether it's training day, game day,
Pass to the corner. He shoots. He scores.
or recovery day, Advent Health keeps you ready for every day and for everything that makes you feel whole. Advent Health, official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Looking to sell your home in this challenging real estate market? Trust the Duncan Duo team at LPT Realty, Tampa Bay's #1 real estate team. Hi, this is Andrew Duncan, and we've sold thousands of homes when other agents failed to sell them, like recently in South Tampa, Brandon, Carrollwood, Riverview, Odessa, St. Pete, and Clearwater. We know how to win in tough conditions and get maximum exposure. We can guarantee your home sold or get you an instant cash offer. Go with the best at DuncanDuo.com. That's DuncanDuo.com.
She was the sister who went unnoticed.
A daffodil might look plain next to a lily, but on its own there is much to be admired.
Now, her greatest chapter is yet to come.
The most important thing is to be yourself.
From the world of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice comes a new BritBox original drama,
Mary, you will flourish.
based on the best-selling novel, The Other Bennett Sister, now streaming only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Everything is better on ice. Goes his way in. Provorov cuts in. And scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Right side Radish with Gensel across one Radish for Gensel. Score! Gensel!
The second period of tonight's Lightning Stanley Cup playoff game is presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here's Dave Mishkin.
First goal, Game 7, goes to the Canadiens. Suzuki on a tip with 1:21 left in the first. 1-0 Montreal after one. The second period, Vasilevsky in the net to our right. Dobish in the goal to our left. When a Lightning win, you get 50% off your favorite pizzas the next day from Papa John's. Just use promo code BOLTSW when you order online or on the app. Papa John's is the official pizza partner of the Lightning. Weekdays at noon, Greg Linelli and I host Lightning Power Lunch, presented by Reef Rum. It's an hour of hockey talk for your lunch hour. You can listen live in the Lightning mobile app or watch the video live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. If you missed the show, download the podcast to listen on demand. We'll have a special Saturday show. Actually, that's an old line. Yeah. Saturday is not tomorrow, but we will have a show for you, win or lose for the Lightning tomorrow, which is Monday. So the Lightning are trailing, and, when the series hasn't been tied, more often the Canadiens have had the lead than the Lightning. Yeah. We saw a lot of this in Game 5, but you can't get discouraged that you're down. You just have to keep trying to play well.
Again, I think they passed up a couple of golden opportunities to shoot the puck, the Lightning did. Specifically thinking about that Hagel opportunity. He was right there in the slot, just above the hash mark. And Gonsalves made a great move, and then he tried to put it between the legs, and what happened was it was open. It was open, but Gonsalves sort of not shanked it, but yanked it a little bit too much, and it hit the right pad. And then instead of going in, it hit the right pad and went across to the other pad.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I think the two best chances the Lightning had in the first period were from Gonsalves. That one, and then he had a chance in the slot. Where James tried to throw it to Bjorkstrand, but it pinballed to Gonsalves, and he slammed it one time. Right. Dobish got it with the left pad.
Made a good save.
You can make the argument that the James line was the Lightning's best line in the first period in terms of generating looks.
I thought Point had a good opportunity early on, and he just didn't get the puck up high enough. But, so here we go for the start of the second.
Dano and Paul at center ice. Won by the Canadiens. Puck slides in on Dobish, leaves it for Matheson. Matheson winds it left wing to Juraj Slafkovsky. fumble the puck a bit, but does bump to Carrier at center. He'll shovel it in. There's Chernak by the Lightning net, getting checked by Deno, feeds Gergensons. Gergensons gets help from Ryan McDonough, up the left wing. Hits Paul to center. Nick Paul cranks it for Gord, he'll sweep it in. Gergensons pursues it behind the net. And a check carry. Matheson grabs for Slavkovsky, though, back from Mike Matheson. 1-0 Montreal in the second. On the left side, it's Carrier. Back from Matheson behind the Montreal net. Both sides are getting a change here. Matheson holds on to the puck. Back in the left wing, Carrier. Feeds for Suzuki, deflects it in. Vasilevsky guides it around the near boards. It is going to come to Gage Gonsalves at center ice. Hits Bjorkstrand on the left wing. Bjorkstrand muscles his way across the line. He's checked by Suzuki. The puck is played by Gonsalves, though, left circle. Center point, Radish. Shoots! Tipped wide right by Gage Gonsalves. Gonsalves on the rebound, right circle. He'll leave for Darren Radish, right circle in front. Bjorkstrand shoots, save Dobesh. Rebound behind the net, James. In front, Bjorkstrand shoots, save again by Dobesh. The puck is alive. It's going to be held in by Radish, right point. What a shift for this unit. Radish directs it behind the net. Dobson to steal. Trying to clear, held in Moser, left point. Left circle, Gonsalves. Trying to keep it alive. Gage Gonsalves. High slot, James. Back in front, Gonsalves over his stick. His stick was lifted, I think, by Dobson. And Anderson hurries it out. Moser knocks it down. Well, chances again for this line. And Dobish made saves.
Boy, Bjorkstrand had two great opportunities.
Dobson gets it in his own zone once more. Regroup for the Canadiens behind the net, Lane Hudson. Early in the second, 1-0 Lightning trail. Return feed Dobson to Kirby Doc at center. Doc slings it in. Vasilevsky stops it by the Lightning net. And leaves it for Moser. A little feed comes from Cirelli to Hagel. Hagel up the left wing. Cross the blue line, hooked a bit. Feeds Cirelli, high slot. Cirelli, right circle, Kucherov, shoots, saved Dobesh. Got over in time, made the save and holds on. Lightning generating some looks here early in the second, trailing in the game 1-0.
Yeah, Kuch didn't get a lot of good wood on that shot right there. But Bjorkstrand was right out top of the hash mark, actually, when he got that shot. And then he gets another one, gets it on the net. Good for him. He got it both on the net, and Dobish had to make the save. The rebound was there, but the guys were not, no Lightning player was around there.
Cirelli and Newhook on the draw to the left of Dobesh.
That line's been terrific so far tonight.
Cirelli wins it cleanly. Destu traps it down left point. He'll chip it behind the Montreal net. Going to carry him to Kucherov in the right corner. By the net, Cirelli. Cirelli back for Nikita Kucherov, right circle. Kucherov watched by Carrier. Kucherov dances to the right point. Makes a little move at the right point. Good shoots. Shot. That got blocked in front by Newhook. Lilleberg follows up right corner, left corner Hagel. Left circle deflected away by Evans. He maneuvers it down the ice. Kucherov back to get it. Kucherov bumps it for Destu. 1-0 Montreal in the second. Charles-Edouard Destu trying to get away from Newhook. He'll feed Emil Lilleberg on the right wing. Lilleberg to center. Left side Cirelli. Touches it in and chases. Matheson's on it first. Matheson gave it up, maybe Hagel. Can Hagel hold this in left circle? The end of a shift. Still battling. Feeds Perry. Left circle. Left point to Stu. Tees it up. Shoots. Tipped wide right by Hagel. Rebound Hagel again, right circle. Penalty on Montreal. Hagel high slot. Left point to Stu. Net empty for the Lightning. Charles-Edouard Destu. Back for Hagel. Center point. Left point to Stu. Had one open Jake Gensel. Right circle. Right circle Cirelli. Right point Gensel. Center point Hagel. Tees it up. Right circle. Shot came from Gensel. Save made. Cirelli follows up left circle. Cirelli. High slot to Stu. Shoot. Save made by Dobesh, who's been outstanding early in Game 7. Finally, the puck is touched off the carom by Matheson, who's the Canadian going to the box.
Montreal 8-2 tripping.
Tripping on Matheson.
Yeah. Well, the Lightning, boy, Dobesh has been real good in this game so far. Real good. So the Lightning go on a power play. I'd like to see a little bit more movement on that power play. They're stagnant. They sort of stand still and pass it around, you know, waiting for Cooch to do something. They got to move around, though. They really do.
Chico power play number 1. I didn't see a clean look of the replay on the trip.
No, neither did I. So
Lightning really pressed here to start the second, trying to get the game tied. Dobish has kept the Montreal lead intact. Evans and Gensel, Tico power play number 1 in the game. Won by Evans, but Hagel retrieves it. Left circle to Point. Point under pressure. Trying to keep it alive. Puck battle. Who's got it? Point does. Left circle. Winds it to Kucherov. Kucherov in the right corner. Kucherov spinning on Suzuki. Feeds it right point Radish. Does hold it in. Back for Kucherov, right circle.
Move. Somebody
right corner
got to move.
high slot, Kucherov. Kucherov holds. Back for Jake Gensel, right circle. Left circle, Radish! Shoot! Save Dobish! A miraculous stop. He got over in time.
That was a heck of a save by Dobish. I mean, the pass came across by Gensel right to Radish. He's at the face-off dot on the right side of Dobish. He snaps it quickly. Dobish comes across and makes a great save.
It was in the middle of the net, and Dobish got over and blocked it. If it's more short side, it's probably in. But he had to get it off quickly.
Exactly.
Gensel wins the draw from Dano. Radish at the left point trying to hold it in. Sweeps it to point, left circle. Point delivers it behind the net. Gooley is there. Gooley trying to clear it. Checked by Gensel. Puck grab by Point for Gensel, right corner. Slips it right point. Radish just out of his reach. He couldn't get over in time to hold it in. He'll regroup in the neutral zone. 1:18 left in the Lightning power play. 1-0 they trail. Radish at center ice. Pivoting.
Come on, boys.
Drops it for Gensel. The Lightning to re-enter the zone. Jake Gensel up the middle. Dishes for Point. Braden Point across the Montreal line back for Gensel. Left point Hagel. Brandon Hagel straddling that blue line. Short pass Radish. Right point, right circle Kucherov. Kucherov holds. Left circle Hagel. Shoots. Save Dobish with the glove. Way out of the top of the crease in the white. He snared that. He is feeling it right now, though, Phil.
Yes, he is. He's feeling it like the other night. Like the way Vasilevsky was. This guy's made some unbelievable saves.
Shots now are 16-4 Lightning. Now in the first period, the Lightning had a big shot advantage, but the Canadiens had more attempts. This period, it's been all Lightning. Yep. 54 seconds left in the power play. Evans and Gensel on the draw.
Win another face-off here. Win another face-off.
They've both been contested. The Lightning have been able to come up with them. Evans wins this one. Puck for Hudson by the net. He'll crank it down the ice. Vasilevsky leaves it for Darren Radish. So with 46 seconds left in the power play, the Lightning have to get it back up the ice. Here's Hagel off the feed in the left wing, right across the blue line. A pass got knocked away. Carrier bangs it out to center ice. Kucherov dumps it back in. The Lightning are in an offside position. They have to tag up. So winding up is Hudson. They'll feed it up the left wing. Here is Newhook across the blue line getting checked by Kucherov. 28 in the power play. Radish winds up. Lightning skate right to left in the second. Darren Radish. Right wing Kucherov to the red line. Oh, pass, he whiffs on it. Evans looks to make a steal for Newhook. Newhook in the Lightning end left circle. Alex Newhook looking at wheel in front. Lost the handle, but he's got a penalty. And that started with a sloppy turnover in the neutral zone. So now the Canadiens will go in the power play after 11 seconds of 4-on-4.
Unbelievable. I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't.
21 Tampa's got a minor for a hold.
He had to hold Newhook, who was in the process of walking in front for a shorthanded in-alone chance.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
So now the Lightning must lean on their penalty kill. Dobish came up with some key saves during the Montreal kill. Lightning are 0-for-1 in the game in the power play. In 11 seconds, the Canadiens will go on a power play.
It's almost like shooting yourself in the foot there.
Yep.
You can't mishandle the puck that badly. Can't. In any game. It's specifically Game 7 and playoffs.
Cirelli and Suzuki to the left of Vasilevsky. One for Dobson, right circle, right point Hudson. A pass stolen by McDonough. McDonough walks it out, still 4-on-4, right wing for Gensel. Gensel jabs it in and chases. It's now a Montreal power play. Gensel after the puck by the Montreal net, but it comes to Noah Dobson. So he and Hudson are both out there at least right now on the power play, although Dobson's going to the bench. Here's Hudson up the middle. Rolling puck on him, he settles it down. There's a spin move at center ice and gives to Nick Suzuki. Power play Montreal up 1-0 in the second. Suzuki, left point Caulfield. Goes to Demidov, right point. Demidov traps it down. Ivan Demidov to the right circle. Center point Hudson touches to Caulfield, left circle. Cole Caulfield, left circle Suzuki. Suzuki a pass. Get it. Stolen Cirelli, yes. Bumps it out of the zone and pursues it. Cirelli will chip it in. Hudson defends. And Hudson knocks it away for Demidov. Good work by Cirelli, though. He got it down the ice. Suzuki flying back up the right wing. Drops it off, Hudson, right wing, Demidov. Into the Lightning zone, Ivan Demidov, bumped by J.J. Moser. Puck played, near boards, Lilleberg did get it to Gergensen, so he'll crank it down the ice. 57 seconds left in the Montreal power play. Canadiens have a 1-0 lead in the second. Lane Hudson steps out towards center ice. Right wing Caulfield. Directs for Nick Suzuki. Suzuki across the blue line, stays with it, touches it to the left corner, Caulfield. Cross his feet, blocked by Moser. Can he clear it? Up the near boards, yes. Gord bangs it out. He was trying to pass it to Gergensen. Slavkovsky got in the way, but it did work as a clear. Slavkovsky the other way. Nice move up the left wing into the Lightning zone. Fumbles it away.
Good job.
And Lilleberg bangs it out. 26 on the power play. Canadians get a partial change on the man advantage. Hudson, though, here he comes. Up the middle. Lane Hudson. Speed to the Lightning in left circle. Hagel stays with him. Hudson delivers it cross ice. Suzuki still out there right circle. Suzuki's checked. Maneuvers at right point. Kirby Doc. Left point, it is Slavkovsky. Back for Doc at the left point. Kirby Doc steps left circle. Doc in the left corner. Left point Hudson, 5 in the penalty. Hudson feeds it cross ice for Demidov. Good stick right there from Moser. Broke it up. Puck held in Suzuki. Right point, a pass blocked by Moser. Bounces out of the zone. Moser is after it. Moser tied up by Demidov. Gets away. Cross the left point, left circle. Back in front for Moser. It's blocked.
No!
And they passed out of a chance potentially. Now Caulfield for Dobson got stripped by Hagel. Holds in for point, left circle. Shoots. Blocked again. Rebound Hagel, left circle. Chops it by the net, Jake Gensel. Gensel bumps it right point to Stu. 1-0 Montreal in the second. Stu cranks it behind the net. It's pinballing around to Braden Point, right circle. Right point Radish. Darren Radish flips the shot to the net. Dobes sees it and covers. We'll get a TV timeout. Both teams unsuccessful on their power play chance. It sees 1-0 Montreal. 12:21 left in the second on Lightning Radio.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Looking for a new adventure place? There's no place like this place. It's the summer camp at the YMCA. With over 25 different camp options across the Tampa YMCA area, there's something for every camper to enjoy. From art and gymnastics to ziplining high above the ground and splashing in our pools every single day. The Y is the ultimate summer destination. New friends, new skills, new adventures, all in a safe, supportive environment parents trust. This summer, say yes to adventure. Camp with us. The YMCA. Strengthening community one camper at a time. Register today at tampaymca.org/let's camp.
Celebrating over 20 years as the exclusive practice facility of the Tampa Bay Lightning, the TGH Iceplex in Brandon offers activities for people of all ages. Come check out your year-round home for adult and youth hockey leagues featuring 2 NHL regulation size rinks, ice and figure skating lessons, open public skating, laser tag, birthday parties, and more. Visit tghiceplex.com for more information. The TGH Iceplex, the exclusive practice facility of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Well, certainly important for the Lightning to get through that penalty kill. The game remains 1-0 Montreal. 12:21 left in the second. We'll get a face-off to the left of Dobesh.
Yep, who's been very, very good in this game.
Yeah.
He has been. He's
17 shots for the Lightning. Maybe 5 or 6 have been
good ones.
Quite dangerous. Yeah.
Real good ones.
Some of the others longer range, like the last one from Radish. It was a fairly routine save, and he took the whistle.
Yeah. The face-off will be to the left of Dobish. Gord, Paul, and Gergensen's out there.
Yeah, Deno and Paul to the left of Jakub Dobish. Paul's tossed.
Like he almost wanted to be.
So Gord and Deno, 50-50. And Paul got stripped and is carrying it out his new hook to the red line. He'll bang it in. Anderson jostling with this Stu. Kind of cancel each other out. Who's going to grab the puck? Another one of these scrums. Remember, the Canadians got a grade A out of one of them in the first period. Deno is able to win at left corner. Left point Gooley shoots, just missed wide right. Rebound played by Gergensen, upended by Hudson. Hudson steals the puck. And Deno doesn't have a, or that's Destu doesn't have a puck, but the Hudson centering feed knocked away by Gord for Nick Paul. He does bang it out just barely to center. Paul kicks it across the blue line. He's onside to the right circle. Nick Paul, look at a swerve in front for a shot save made, and then Gordon missed on a rebound. McDonough holds it in left corner. Cross ice Nick Paul, right circle. To the right point, Chernak. Left point, McDonough. McDonough, angle center point, right point to Chernak. Doesn't shoot. Returns McDonough at the left point. McDonough shoots, blocked. Rebound, kept alive maybe by Paul. No, Deno out to center ice. The pass hits Paul's stick. Deno gets it back for Gooley. Still 1-0 Montreal in the second. Lane Hudson, right wing Caden Gooley. Zips it to center ice. Here's Texier, hot potatoing it in. Puck played by Oliver Bjorkstrand to the Lightning near corner. The near board's McDonough. Little outlet, James. James to center ice. Bangs it cross ice. Chernak steps onto this and one times it in. Bjorkstrand pursues the puck behind the net. Dobson's on it first. Up the far board, Struble. Can he clear it? James blocks it right circle, but it bounces off Doc's stick. And Texier will flip it forward for Bolduc into the Lightning zone. Zach Bolduc. Checked by Moser. Moser went down. Who's got the puck? Texier and Moser battle on the Lightning near corner as Moser is back up. Still 1-0 Montreal in the second.
Look behind you.
Puck is still alive in that near corner. Important who comes up with this puck here from the scrum. Still loose. Moser had it momentarily. He's pinned by Texier. 10:28 left in the second. Approaching the halfway point of this game. We finally got a whistle. Radish's helmet was yanked off his head. 1-0 Canadiens. 10:25 left in the second.
Yeah, it was just yanked off his head. Is that why they blew the whistle?
Maybe. Sometimes that's a penalty. It's not going to be a penalty in Game 7 of a playoff series, but because the guy has to go to the bench or pick up the helmet and put it back on. His faceoff will be to the left of Vasilevsky. Canadians do not have a shot on net so far in the second period as we approach the halfway point of the second period.
Face off to the left.
Suzuki and Cirelli on the draw.
You need Cooch to pick it up. You really do. Badly.
Puck not dropped. Now it is. And it's a 50-50. Caulfield is able to slip it to the center point Hudson. Lane Hudson just drops it to the Lightning far corner. Moser golfs it up the far boards to Kucherov. Kucherov out to center ice. Runs into a poke check from Hudson. Nicely done by Lane Hudson. Puck alive Suzuki at center. Bangs it to the Lightning line. Kucherov goes back to his own zone for J.J. Moser. Moser looks up ice. A pass almost blocked by Caulfield. Got it out to Hagel at center. Brandon Hagel up the middle. Hagel across the Montreal line. Slips it. Right circle Cirelli. Right circle Kucherov. Kucherov holds. Left circle Moser. Shot it just wide right. Barely missed.
Just missed that.
Far side post. Rebound carries the puck out of the zone. Radish a regroup. Left wing to Moser once more. Moser a pass blocked away by Dobson. This is going to be an icing. Well, we'll stop the clock with 9:42 left in the second. 1-0 Montreal. I'd like to say hi to all the fans watching on the plaza. They have our feed, so
cool.
Hope they're enjoying Game 7. I think they'd enjoy it more if the Lightning could get the next goal.
Yeah, well, right there, Moser had an opportunity. He just missed the open on the far side. Face-off will come to the left of Dobish.
Yeah, didn't miss by much.
No, he sure didn't.
Point and Evans on the draw. Point wins it, but it hit Gensel. Tough break. Comes to Hudson. Hudson skies it out. Knocking it down is Lilleberg for Jake Gensel. Returns Emil Lilleberg. Forces his way across the Montreal line. Tied up by Hudson. Lilleberg stays with it in the right corner. Lilleberg feeds Braden Point in a traffic jam. Point steps free right circle. Point angles center point. Leaves it. High slot Gensel. Shoot. Save made by Dobish off the save. It goes out of play. We'll get a TV timeout. 9:17 left in the second period. 1-0 Montreal on Lightning Radio.
Spectrum TV fixed TV and combined all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32, blue 32. Hot hike. It's only more Hail Marys.
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over 100 hours worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox One, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
To be a real winner is to make a difference in your community. The Chief here for the Mosaic Company and the Goals for Food program. For the last 12 seasons, Mosaic has donated more than $1.3 million to help local families. Mosaic will once again donate $1,000 for every goal and $1,500 for every hat trick scored by a Lightning player at home. Mosaic will also donate $5,000 for every home game that goes into overtime. So let's cheer on the Bolts as we work together to fight hunger. Learn more about Mosaic's mission to help the world grow the food it needs at mosaicco.com.
Keeping control of the biscuit requires steady, precise stick handling.
It doesn't sound thrilling, but it's those calculated practice moves that help your favorite Lightning players score exciting shots.
Cross the blue line left circle. Right circle Hagel. Back for Kucherov. Score!
At PNC Bank, that's what the game is all about, keeping your money steady and reliable with smart solutions, so you can achieve your financial goals. PNC Bank, official retail bank of the Tampa Bay Lightning and brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank National Association, member FDIC.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
We have passed the halfway point in Game 7, at least in terms of regulation. 1-0 Montreal, 9:17 left in the middle period. Another face-off in the Canadian zone coming to the left of Dobesh.
Who's been spectacular here tonight.
He's been great.
He really has been good. The Lightning has been pressing.
And this line has been dangerous.
Oh, yes, they have.
Most of the time they've been on the ice. James, Gonsalves, and Bjorkstrand.
Working hard. They're working very hard.
James and Deneau to the left of Dobesh. James tossed.
I don't see what he did any different than Deneau did.
So it's Gonsalves and Deneau. And one of the Canadians, Carrier, wraps it around the near boards. It's going to go down the ice, though. This will be an icing. So the Lightning could pick the other circle now. Maybe put Deneau on his weak side. James on his strong side. 9:11 left in the second. 1-0 Canadians.
I think that's what they'll do, too. That looks exactly what they're going to do. To the right of Dobesh.
Lightning rearrange themselves around the face-off circle.
Yeah, James wanted Gonsalves on the left.
One cleanly by Deneau on his forehand. Nicely done. Matheson wraps it around the far board. Slavkovsky out to center ice. It's Demidov. He got checked. Good step up Chernak. Deneau follows up, trying to dump it in. Instead, it's grabbed by Bjorkstrand for Gonsalves. Across the Montreal line. Cuts toward the slot. Holds. Gonsalves goes to McDonough left point. McDonough will bang it behind the net. James. Dominic James controls the left circle. James. Back for Ryan McDonough left circle. McDonough has a little room here. McDonough. To leave it for James. It got stolen by Deneau. A little cute there by the Lightning. James knocks down Deneau. No call, but Deneau fed Slavkovsky, now Matheson. Left side feed Carrier. He'll feed Demidov, who directs this in from beyond the red line. He didn't actually touch it. He wasn't beyond the red line, but he never touched it. So another icing against the Canadians. They've had a long shift, many of these players.
You know what, though? I know McDonough didn't know what to do there because he figured if he shot at the net, it's going to get blocked and they can go away. But you just make sure you get it, keep it deep. You can't lose it there.
So Deneau's won 2 D-zone faceoffs. This one against Sorelli to the right of Dobesh. 8:31 left in the second. Lightning down 1-0. This is more of a 50-50, and Deneau comes up with it again. He'll crank it around the far boards. Radish steps up, looks to hold in. He will for Kucherov right point. Kucherov left point. Moser off his stick and out of the zone. Moser has to regroup in the neutral zone. Canadians want to get a change, at least a partial one. Demidov forces Moser all the way back to the Lightning end. Good job by Demidov. Now a nice headman feed from Moser to Sorelli down the right wing. Across the blue line, pulls up right circle. Anthony Sorelli feeds at right point Radish. Right circle Kucherov. Back for Darren Radish, right circle. In the right corner, Hagel. Hagel is checked. He stumbled a bit. And Matheson looks to carry it out to center. Hagel knocks him down. Following up is Newhook, though. Newhook veers into the Lightning end of the left point. He hot potatoes it by the Lightning net. Moser will crank it out. Around the near boards, Kucherov at center ice. They'll deflect it into the Montreal end. Under 8 to play in the second. Lightning down 1-0. Caden Gooley of the Canadians. Around the forward boards, Evans. He'll lift it out. Puck played by Destu in the Lightning end. Banks it for Point. Point still in his own zone.
Oh, boy.
And he chips it, and Perry does get it out to center ice. Gensel tied up. And here's a steal for Newhook. They're getting a penalty on the Canadians because it led to a potential chance for Newhook. Gensel was held at the defensive blue line, so here's a second power play chance for the Lightning.
Montreal 21, minor penalty holding.
It's on Gooley.
Well, here we go. Big opportunity with 7 minutes, 27 seconds left in the second period by the Lightning.
He did hold in, and because an advantage was gained by the Canadiens, I think that's why they called it.
There's no doubt. He grabbed him.
Lightning are starting with the second unit because the top unit just had a shift. Many of the players just had a shift. James, Gonsalves, Paul, Perry, and Destu. That's your unit. Tico power play number 2 in the game for the Lightning.
Paul win the draw here.
Paul and Evans to the right of Dobesh. Evans wins it. Carrier slips it around the far board. Suzuki looks to find help. He's checked by Corey Perry. Can the Lightning hold it in? Matheson in the far corner, checked by Gage Gonsalves. Puck battle here. Who's going to come up with it? Perry will behind the net. A pass hits a skate and pinballs away from Destu.
Unbelievable.
Slides down the ice. Destu would have been wide open, in the middle of the ice.
It's a stinking skate.
Lightning skate right to left in the second. 1:36 left in their power play. Destu for Nick Paul. Paul at the middle. Hands off James. Across the blue line. Stays with it. Left point, Gage Gonsalves. Skates left circle. Left point, Destu. Back for Gage Gonsalves, left circle. Gonsalves in the slot. Paul ripped it wide left. Gonsalves follows up left corner. Now to Dominic James, right corner. James on his backhand, skates behind the net. Tips to Gonsalves, left circle. Gage Gonsalves on the power play. Center point, Destu. Back for Gonsalves, left circle. Center point, Destu. Shoots! Tipped in front! Dominic James! Lightning score on the power play. It's 1-1 with 6:33 left in the second.
James tips it in front of the net. Dominic James. A nice shot by Destu. Not high. And Dominic James there redirects it in. Beautiful. Nice pass by Gonsalves. Good shot by Destu. And an equally beautiful tip by Dominic James. Well, 2 direction goals tonight.
So James and Gonsalves have points in 3 straight games. James gets his second in the series from Destu and Gonsalves. I'm just going to point out, Phil, Game 5, James scores 11 seconds later. After he tied the game at 1, the Canadiens got the lead back. This is a huge shift.
Absolutely right.
And the Canadiens send out the line that got that goal. It was Doc, if you remember. The Lightning send out the Cirelli line for this very important shift. So the Lightning have tied the game at 1. Shots are now 20-4 Lightning. Doc and Cirelli at center ice. So the Lightning take advantage of that Gooley penalty. Face-off won by Doc. Lane Hudson on the left wing. Bolduc chops it in. Knocking it out is Radish. Regaining possession, Hudson slings it in. The Canadiens had a couple of responses in Game 5 after the Lightning scored. Kucherov, the near boards, going to be held in. Dobson a shot from the right point, wide right. Kucherov taps it out. Hagel to center with room on the right wing. Joining him, Cirelli. Hagel across the line, right circle. Dobson knocked it off his stick. Hagel has it back, right corner, Cirelli. It was an odd man, but a good play by Dobson. Now Kucherov drops to the left point, Moser. Shoot, save made by the goaltender, Dobesh. A counter, Bolduc. 3-on-3 to center. Beats Kirby Doc on the right wing. Doc rolls it in. Puck grab by Radish by the Lightning net. Around the far boards, he does clear. Carrier back in his own zone. Looks to get away from Kucherov, he does. 1-1 our score in the second. Carrier. Nice feed on the right wing, Caden Gooley. Gooley into the Lightning end. At the right point, tucks it by the Tampa Bay net. Radish needs a clear here. Banks it on the far boards. It's going to go down the ice. So now an icing against the Lightning. They did get some fresh guys out there, although I think the 2D have had a long shift. 5:35 left in the second. It's 1-1.
Yeah, the D have had a long shift, but Paul got out there.
Great play by Dobson. Breaking up what looked to be a 2-on-1 for Hagel and Cirelli. Moser took a shot that hit Dobesh in the mask.
Yeah, you didn't see it. Didn't see it. Hit him right in the mask.
Paul and Dano on the draw.
Good
Won by Nick Paul. Radish needs a clear here. Off the far boards. Direct it down the ice. Is this an icing? No. Puck played by Gooley by the Montreal net. Gooley is checked by Gord. Puck held in. Nick Paul left circle. Paul battles. They'll look to bang it to a team, but instead it's Dano. 1-1 our score in the second. Left wing Carrier flips it to center ice. Paul gloves it down and counters. Nick Paul across the Montreal line. Strong move to the left corner. Paul pulls up. Nick Paul left circle. Paul across his feet block. Paul stays with it, and he ran into a poke check. It's cleared by Carrier to the Lightning end. Destu with 5 to play in the period. Wheels back in his own end. Right side feed. Here's Gonsalves again. Across the Montreal line. Gage Gonsalves steps right circle. Shoots. Just missed wide right. Rebound. Carries the puck out to center. Grabbing it is Lilleberg, right wing to James. Up the right wing, Gonsalves deflects it in once more. 1-1 our score, late second. Dobson up the far board, Slavkovsky.
That's still got to change.
Reverses for Noah Dobson. He holds on to it. Or actually, we get a whistle. A penalty in the Lightning. Too many men. Is that possible?
I don't know.
Tampa Bay's got a bench minor penalty for having too many men on the ice.
Well, so the Canadiens will get a power play when we come back. 1-1 our score late second at Lightning Radio.
Whether it's training day, game day,
Pass to the corner. He shoots. He scores.
or recovery day, Advent Health keeps you ready for every day and for everything that makes you feel whole. Advent Health, official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Mental health challenges affects too many lives, and too often the silence around them leads to painful outcomes. Hi, I'm Nick Paul, and it's time we break through the stigma and start real conversations about mental wellness. That's why I'm proud to partner once again with Slide Insurance to continue Points by Paul, an initiative supporting the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay. Join my team and be part of this movement by visiting pointsbypaul.com and help us shine a light on those facing mental health struggles. So together, we can build a brighter path forward.
The biggest party of the year is here. Zach Brown Band Love and Fear Tour, presented by Margaritaville at Sea. Friday, September 18th, Benchmark International Arena. Zach Brown Band. With special guest, Brothers Osborne. Tickets are on sale now at ZachBrownBand.com.
And a little bit of chicken fried.
Don't miss Zach Brown Band, Love and Fear, live.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Well, a huge penalty kill for the Lightning, taking a bench minor for too many men on the ice at 15:22 of the second. They've tied the game at 1, but now they must get through a kill. Slide Insurance penalty kill number 2. Cirelli and Suzuki to the left of Vasilevsky. Canadians do not have a shot on net so far in the period. The draw is won by the Lightning. McDonough put it off the side of the net, grabbing a Chernak for Hagel. He couldn't clear it out. Cirelli follows up, bangs it up the middle, held in Suzuki. Suzuki is checked. Where's that puck? Grabbing it, Slavkovsky left point. Lightning hold it in. Slavkovsky gave it away for Hagel. Hagel tied up, trying to get this puck out. Goodness, the Lightning can't get it out. Finally it comes to McDonough, and he'll flip it down the near side of the length of the ice. What effort by the Canadians to hold that puck in. 1:36 left in the power play. Hudson under the rush. Lane Hudson in this 1-1 game, right wing, Cole Caulfield. Caulfield directs it for Suzuki. Into the Lightning zone. Pucks at right point, Demidov. Winds it by the Lightning net. Puck battle. Chernak looks to come up with it. Suzuki there for the Canadians. No one can get a stick on it. It's bouncing around behind the Lightning net. 1:15 left in the penalty.
Nobody.
And it's going to come to Lane Hudson at the right point. Hudson, left point, Slavkovsky. Slips in left circle, Cole Caulfield. Caulfield drifts top of the left circle. Left corner, Suzuki. Suzuki on the power play. Left corner, Caulfield. Holding, left circle, Suzuki. Center point, Hudson. Doesn't shoot. Back for Suzuki at the right point. Suzuki. Right circle, Demidov. Right point, Suzuki. Suzuki shoots, save Vasilevsky. First shot in the period for the Canadians. Demidov behind the net. Bumps in left circle to Caulfield. Caulfield holds. Left point, Hudson. Lane Hudson straddling that blue line. Back for Caulfield, left circle.
Too long.
Left point, Hudson. Hudson holds. Back for Caulfield, left circle, left corner, Suzuki. Suzuki holds, feeds Hudson, turns, high slot, shoots, just missed wide right. 26 in the penalty. Hudson again at the center point, off his stick and out of the zone.
What a break.
Lightning can't get a change, though. Hudson a quick regroup for Demidov. Onside across the blue line. Slips it to Nick Suzuki, left circle. Suzuki holds. Suzuki turns it, left point, Hudson. Right circle, Demidov off his stick, and the Lightning get it. Chopping it at McDonough, falls down. Following up is Gord, he clears. Down the near side of the length of the ice, the penalty winds down.
Hurry up.
The Lightning have killed it off. Stays 1-1. Dobson, the penalty is up to center ice. Dobson runs into James. He'll bang it in, though. Puck played by Darren Radish in the Lightning far corner. Flips it up the far boards. It got knocked down momentarily by Texier, but following up is Hagel to force it into the Montreal end. Matheson the other way. Kirby Doc slips this into the Lightning zone. Hard shift here for Radish. He stays with it. Around the near boards, J.J. Moser. Moser is bumped by Bolduc. Moser looks to maneuver it to a teammate. Radish by the net under heavy pressure here. Put it off a stick. It goes out of play. So 2:08 left in the period. The Lightning get through the kill, but they're not out of the defensive zone. They have not credited the Canadiens yet with a shot, but there was definitely one in that power play.
I thought it was wide, Dave, but maybe that's right.
The one that Vasilevsky stopped?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're
like
right.
Wide.
Canadiens 0 for 2 in the game of the power play.
I wish somebody would bump into Hagel and bump him, get him angry.
One of the Lightning players was knocked down after the whistle.
It was Kucherov by Bolduc.
Well, this is a key moment in the second period, late second. The Lightning have gotten the game tied, but the Canadiens got a little juice from that power play, I think. They had a lot of touches. They had a lot of zone time.
A lot of zone time.
Lightning have to bear down here with 2:08 left in the period. Remember, they gave up a goal late in the first period.
You got to win this face-off there, Nicky.
Danault and Paul to the right of Vasilevsky. Won by Paul. He kicks it for Destu. Bangs it around the near boards, and it slides down the ice. It's going to be an icing. He had to crank it past Matheson to the right point, but too much on that.
He didn't really have to do that hard. Getzel, I believe, was wide open over here. Was that Gord? That was Gord over here.
Yeah. So now Paul again on the draw against Danault. 2:01 left in the period.
Gord's getting the stick.
Giving the unit a little bit more of a rest, although they are fresh. I mean, they just came over the boards. But a D-zone face-off for the Lightning, Danault and Paul. And this is going to bounce to whom? At the center point, Dobson holds it in. Well, he flipped it out of play. So another face-off. Oh, they're going to say that's out of the zone.
Really?
See him pointing to the neutral zone. I thought if you put it out of play in the offensive zone, it stays in the offensive zone. That's a little bit of a break for the Lightning. 1:57 now left in the period.
Huh. I think he called it offside.
Maybe that's why. Yeah. I didn't think it came out.
No,
Danault and Paul from neutral ice. Anderson and Gergenson's jostle.
Excuse me.
One cleanly by Danault. Dobson, left side feed Hudson. He'll feather it in. And now another whistle. Is this another offside on the Canadiens? Yes.
Yeah, it looks that way.
On the dump in, and they didn't. Nobody carried it in, but they didn't try and tag up.
So this time it's at center ice because I guess that's where he was when he shot it in.
Yeah. Lightning will make a change. Here come James, Gonsalves, and Bjorkstrand. Draw between James and Danault at center ice. James again is tossed. So Bjorkstrand on his strong side will take the faceoff against Philip Danault. And it's won by the Canadiens. Hudson finds a lane to the red line and dumps it in. Destu looks to make a play in the near corner. Anderson checks him. Bjorkstrand comes up with it. Slides around the far boards. Gage Gonsalves. Gonsalves trying to get away from Hudson. Puck battle. Destu comes up with it and chips it out. And went out of play again. Boy, the Lightning, it's just, right now the Lightning cannot get past the red line. And they have to start executing to get out. It's not easy. The Canadiens are pressing. They know they want the lead back before the period ends.
I couldn't agree more. Now you got a big face-off again to the right of Vasilevsky. And
they can make a change, and they will. Newhook is going to take this face-off for the Canadiens, I think.
And Nicky Paul comes out.
Yeah. Look, the Canadiens are forechecking hard. They're getting in on the puck carrier. They're getting their sticks in the lanes. Draw to the right of Vasilevsky. Newhook and Paul on the draw. 50-50. It's going to be played by Chernak by the Lightning net. Chernak needs to execute a play here. He got checked.
Boy.
McDonough follows up. McDonough for Chernak by the net. In a battle with Evans. Chernak lost it. Newhook. Right circle Evans. Lightning had the puck. They lost it, though. Evans at the right circle. To the left point, Hudson shoots, blocked by Cord. It deflects out of play, but now we have another face-off in the Lightning end. 1:14 left in the period. 1-1 the score.
Boy, this is about the fourth or fifth face-off in the zone with the last minute and 50 seconds. And it's still got a minute and 14.
Yeah, that was a 50-50, and the Lightning actually came up with the puck, but Chernak was under heavy pressure. This is a draw won by Paul. Gergenson's in the near corner, chips it out. Grabbing it, Gord at center ice, bumps it forward to the offensive zone. Hudson swatted it away from Nick Paul. It's alive at center ice. Gord trying to get a stick on it. He will. Yanni Gord slips free across the Montreal line of the right circle. Checked by Hudson. Slavkovsky in a counter. Uri Slavkovsky. A pass deflected by Paul. It comes to McDonough. Final minute of the period. 1-1 the score. McDonough to the red line. Launches it in. Puck in the heart around Nick Paul, right circle. Paul rumbles to the right corner. Hudson checks him. Paul trying to keep it alive for Gord. Instead, here's Newhook. Trying to clear Heldon Radish, right point. Shoots just wide right. He hurried to the net, but just wide. Here's Gord, left circle. 36 in the period. Cross ice Radish at the right point off the stick. Comes out of the zone. Gergensons drifts all the way back for the Lightning to his own end. 28 seconds left in the period. Here's J.J. Moser off the feed from Gergensons, holding onto the puck. Down to 20 seconds left in the period. J.J. Moser walks it up the middle. Moser slides for Radish off his stick. Tough pass. Demidov on a counter. Jabs it in. 10 to go in the period. Moser behind the net. Looks to bump it to a teammate. It's going to come to Hagel. Hagel flips it out. Nicely done. 3 seconds left. Puck is going to bounce to Radish. And he left it for point, but time ran out on the Lightning in that second period. They kind of had a struggle the last really since the penalty kill. They never really were able to do much in the offensive zone, but they get through the end of the period, still tied at 1. Dominic James, the power play goal. We have a tie game through 40 minutes in Game 7. Greg has the second intermission report coming up next on Lightning Radio.
15 minutes after tonight's Lightning game, it's the Last Call post-game show, presented by Jack Daniels. We're breaking down the game. Plus, you'll hear from the players and head coach John Cooper's post-game comments. The Last Call. 15 minutes after tonight's game on the Lightning Audio Network.
For 10 years in a row, Tampa General has been named the #1 hospital in Tampa Bay by U.S. News and World Report. And once again, we're recognized as a top 50 hospital in the nation. This year in 6 specialties: diabetes and endocrinology, ear, nose, and throat, gastroenterology and GI surgery, heart and vascular care, obstetrics and gynecology, and urology. Tampa General, the region's only academic health system, a university-based program.
It's hockey season, Tampa Bay.
Should score! What a stun!
And Chick-fil-A would like to invite you to feed hunger lightning fast with catering. Order one of your favorite Chick-fil-A catering trays for the whole family today and pick it up before the game. This season, spend less time worrying about meal prep and cleanup and more time sharing good times with friends and family. If winning game night is your goal, a Chick-fil-A catering tray is the right play for you. Order yours today through the Chick-fil-A app. Go Bulls!
Save it, get by Vasilevsky!
The Bone is giving you $1,000 5 times a day, every weekday. Just listen for the Bone bonus keyword at 8, 10, noon, 2, and 5. Head over to the free 1025 The Bone app and enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000. It's the Bone Bonus. Presented to you by Farah & Farah, Tampa's accident attorneys. FarahandFarah.com. 1025 The Bone.
Man, these nights have been cold.
Not that cold.
Well, you're from Mississippi, honey. We're not used to winter in Florida.
Especially at night if your power goes out.
Yeah, if that happens, call Bolt Electric.
And we're on our way.
Better yet, call us before that happens to you.
We'll give you our home electrical health and safety check so you can rest comfortably.
We're also experts in installing whole home surge protection.
Guaranteed to protect your electrical system from energy surges.
Just call Bolt.
Online at boltelectric.com.
Got a slow drain or a plumbing backup? Take care of it before it turns into a bigger problem. Hawkins Service Company is offering a drain cleaning special for just $49. Schedule now at hawkinsserviceco.com. Hawkins, one call, handles it all.
Out here, we hear your speed before we see you. Wind that rocks us.
Cars drifting toward us.
This isn't just a road. It's our workplace. Slow down.
Keep your distance.
Stay focused. Your choices matter.
Let's get everyone home safely.
Learn more about the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative at WorkZoneSafetyFL.com.
This Cinco de Mayo weekend, let's keep our community safe from drunk driving. If you celebrate a little too much, use a rideshare or designate a driver. Amigos don't let amigos drive drunk. Think before you drink. From your friends at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Right circle, Hagel. Back for Kucherov. Score! Kucherov! Kucherov!
is the Lightning Audio Network's second intermission report. Here's Greg Linnelli.
It's Gonsalves on the power play. Center point to Stu. Back for Gonsalves, left circle. Center point to Stu. Shoots!
Tipped in front! Dominic James! The Lightning score on the power play. It's 1-1 with 6:33 left in the second.
Mish on the call. How about it? Dominic James getting it done, tying things up. That's our cleanest play, brought to you by Bubble Down Car Wash, the official car wash of the Tampa Bay Lightning. At least up to this point right now, no shots on goal have been given to Montreal in that second period. Pretty impressive. Letting 21 shots through 2 periods. Montreal with just 4, but yet we are tied. We'll talk about it with the boys in just one moment. Culver's is bringing the Thunder with curds in the third. If the Lightning score in the third, you score free Wisconsin cheese curds from Culver's with a valid online purchase. Eric Erlinson, Bobby the Chief Taylor, Ben Pierce with me right now. That's pretty incredible. No shots on goal for Montreal. And Dominic James gets a goal.
5 shot attempts for the Canadiens. And that's with 2 power plays.
Wow.
5 shot attempts and none on goal. I guess, how are you not winning? Like, you have a dominant period like that, and it takes a power play goal.
Dobish is playing well.
He is, but I don't think they've kind of gotten in his face enough, and I don't think they've gotten to the net enough to take advantage. I mean, but they've had a lot of puck possession, obviously. They really controlled that second period in a lot of ways. Didn't get themselves into trouble. They won some puck battles. We didn't see, the second half of the first period, they started losing those puck battles. Didn't see that. But you got to expect Montreal's going to look at that period and say, hey, we're lucky. We're lucky it's a 1-1 game. So you got to be prepared for that. And, how about starting the second unit on the power play?
Yep.
And they come through with a massive goal, obviously. And, we keep talking about Dominic James growing as a player and in this series, and what a moment for him. Chief?
I'll tell you what, his speed is such a deterrent for the other team, because he really gets you back on your heels in a hurry, and when he hits that blue line, he's going, and you know what, he's in control of that speed, because he'll make some shifts where, a couple of those veteran defensemen looked like he was going that way, and he cuts back, and, it looks like a very young Braden Point, with the ability to, his quickness out there, the straight ahead speed's something, but to have that quickness side to side and stop and start, that's a real asset to have, because it makes it very difficult for guys to check you, especially defensemen. But it was a very strong period for the Lightning, even with 5 guys behind the net when they were killing the penalty.
Ben, what did you make of it?
You got to love it. And I think, too, we've seen at times this year, right, the Lightning kind of, I don't want to say too patient, but they kind of sit back and wait for the play to come to them. I thought they really drove the pace, right? Obviously, Dominic James is going to do that on his own, but I like the fact that it seemed like the Lightning dictated the pace of play in that period. It's not something we've really seen a ton of over these last couple of weeks, so I like that it felt like they were making Montreal cater to their game instead of kind of playing that 50-50 puck. And, you held a team to 0 shots on goal in Game 7 of a playoff series. It doesn't get much better than that. Come on. Say what you will about the small plays here and there, but you're holding a team to 0 shots on goal in the regular season, you're thrilled.
I don't think I've ever seen a 0-shot total in a playoff game.
Yeah, I can't remember one.
Yeah.
Even back when it was a Game 7 between Calgary and Tampa, was 17-15 or 18-16 shots, something like that. There wasn't much offense. Even in the dead puck era, there wasn't, periods like this. And I don't think you've ever seen, you read some of the analytical sites.
Yeah.
Lightning had 99% of the expected goals in that period, which is amazing to think it wasn't 100%, because I'm not even sure how many pucks really even got close. I guess Vazzy had the one that was going wide, but it wouldn't hit his glove. Right? It was going wide, so I don't think it registers as a shot on goal. But that's probably the closest thing they got to the net. Right? So a complete dominant period, and it took all of that to get you even at 1-1. And
it was a deflection to make it 1-1.
Yeah.
Or make it 1-0.
Yeah.
Or 1-1, excuse me.
So, you had to work so hard to get yourself back even in this game, but you can't let up. You have
to keep pushing, right?
To dictate the pace of the play, just like Ben said.
I've got to think as a goaltender that would be a little challenging, right? Only 5 shot attempts, right? So you're probably doing all those things that you talk about, trying to play the puck, trying to come out, skate around a little bit to stay involved.
Yeah, you really concentrate on the puck, even at the other end of the ice. You know where it's going. You move with it. You're standing on the right. You don't sit there and lean against the net and wait till they hit the red line and then get ready. You got to be ready, right? Even when it's back and behind the net on their other end. And Massey does a pretty good job of that. He's been around the block a few times, so he understands that. But I think right now the Lightning, even when they haven't really won hard faceoffs in the power play, they've limited them to no shots in the power play. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want to jinx this, but I will say the one thing we haven't seen a ton of, there's been one or two, I think the Lightning have done a much better job tonight of the neutral zone turnovers.
Yes.
It's been an issue in this series. So far, I'm going to have to find a piece of wood to knock on here, but I think they've really clamped down on that in this game, and I think that's a big reason that they're not giving up those chances to Montreal.
Well, and Montreal's trying it, right? Just like we saw with some of the, like the game-winning goal in Game 5 was off of one of those plays where Crozier stepped up at the red line and exposed back. Montreal's continuing trying to do. I saw a set face-off play where they won it, went immediately to the red line and tried to do the same thing. The defenseman stepped up, but they had coverage. So the Lightning are doing a much better job of understanding that that's what Montreal wants to do, to try and get that quick up and into the zone with some speed to get it on the forecheck. So the Lightning have done a much better job of covering behind that play to make sure that Montreal doesn't get that space.
I think, too, in the face-off circle, they're getting killed again. But you know what? Just try to tie up the other guy. Yeah. Don't try to win it. Let them make it a 50-50 one. You'll have a better chance of winning that now. Because they're losing the face-offs, and it scares you. For me, anyway, because Montreal is good when it's in the offensive zone. Where they struggle is in their own end.
He mentioned continue to push. You can't let up. Do you play the James line an extra shift or two in the third? No, and they've been hot. They might be their best line tonight.
He went right back to them shortly after the power play.
Do you kind of ride it a little bit?
Well, I think they already are. Like you just said, I think we're seeing more of that line, I think, than anybody would have expected, I would think, through the first two periods. Like, they've been very good. At the same time, it's like, how can you not put out Kuch, Hagel, and Sorelli, and follow it with Point and Gensel, right? Because you do have the line change, and that's a big thing. But if nothing else, we've talked so much this series about the depth scoring, right? The Lightning have done a pretty good job all year, but then it kind of sagged off, and then it was the top guys that weren't scoring. So the depth scoring can make a difference, right? It can be the difference between winning and losing a series. We've seen it on either side of this series. One's getting it, one's not. And if they continue that, right, you can match up those top lines. And I do think we're going to see more of that line, but it's hard not to send out, your first-team NHL All-Stars.
And that's where you can't get too caught up in that if you're the coaching staff, right? Because you still want your matchups. You still want Sorelli out there against Suzuki. So you do have to be wary of that as well. You still have to continue. You get a feel for it, there's no doubt, but you still have to kind of continue what you feel is going to benefit your team the most.
Well, that's the good news, too, right? Because then you're not forced to double shift a Kuch line, or that's almost the better part of it.
Yeah.
Just because they can get a rest knowing that line's more than not just pulling their own weight, but they're really pushing the play. That's a huge benefit in itself.
Thank you, boys. This should be fun. Thanks, guys. All right.
What happened to the panel? You called us boys instead of the panel.
Well, you've been downgraded.
Esteemed.
There you go.
The panel. Make me laugh. Hey, don't forget to stay up to date throughout the playoffs with the Daily Strike podcast. Every morning, you get the latest news and notes on the Bolts, highlights, thoughts from the players and coaching staff, Syracuse Crunch updates, and this day in Lightning history. New episodes drop every morning in your favorite podcast app. All right, let's get to our community hero right here on Lightning Radio.
Hello, Bolts Nation. I'm Dee O'Reilly, and it is my honor to introduce a man who has dedicated his career to preserving a piece of Tampa's history. Iconic cultural landmarks can define the uniqueness of a city and a people. And from the day the historic Tampa Theater first opened its doors in 1926, it served as a world-class community gathering place, hosting a century's worth of new and classic films, festivals, concerts, special events, tours, and educational programs. And their dedicated leader for the past 42 years is John Bell, who has led the theater through a variety of renovations and improvements, securing its place as both a historic movie place and a thriving modernized venue. Later this year, John will retire, leaving behind a long, proud legacy as the caretaker of a local treasure. preserving our past and inspiring future generations. That's why John Bell is our hero. And now, to accept a $50,000 grant to continue the preservation of the incredible Tampa Theater, Tampa Bay. Please stand with us now and welcome tonight's Lightning Community Hero, John Bell!
Nice work, John, and the community. We appreciate all that you are doing. Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off select paints and stains, MPW, through May 11th. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. When we return, third period's up next. Mish and the Hall of Famer Phil Esposito will have the third period call. It's 1-1 at the end of 40 on Lightning Radio.
As part of our 90th anniversary celebration, we have enhanced our cash-out refinance home loan. With our new limit, you can now receive up to 90% of your loan to value, providing you with more flexibility and financial freedom. If you have a $400,000 home, receive up to $360,000 with your cash-out refinance. Jumbo loans over $850,000 are available. Get cash for hurricane season, school expenses, or upcoming holidays. Ask about our new rates or learn more at gtefinancial.org/home refi.
Whether it's training day, game day,
Pass to the corner. He shoots. He scores.
or recovery day, Advent Health keeps you ready for every day and for everything that makes you feel whole. Advent Health, official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
You smell that? Spring. Hibernation's over. It's time to run it. Run it until the grass becomes long and the hedges duck and cover. Then, run it again. Still, get up to $50 off select AK battery tool sets. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Here's the tag. Wait, let's it go. He missed the target. Draisaitl back the other way for the winner. Draisaitl scores.
High slide, he's here. Save it. With the gravity holds on. His best of the night.
Wow.
The third period of tonight's Lightning Stanley Cup playoff game is presented by Advent Health. Feel whole. Here's Dave Mishkin.
Well, this close series rolls into the third period of Game 7. Still close. It's 1-1 after 2. In the third period, Vasilevsky back in the net to our left. Jakub Dobeš goal to our right. With Spectrum, it's only getting all the sports with over $100 worth of streaming apps and live TV included at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com. We have a new show called Kick Ice, presented by Celsius. It's a creator-led social-first content series hosted by creative director, actor, and producer Ryan Wynn. You can watch the first 3 episodes now on the Lightning's YouTube channel. And with Marathon Rewards, earn on every fill of bank rewards and choose when you save on fuel. Join in seconds to save up to $1 per gallon.
Kick Ice, huh?
That's
that
the
was
name of it.
Bumper stickers we had
Yes.
first couple of 3 years.
Maybe that inspired the name of the show.
I used to go and sometimes put them in parking lots and put them on guys' bumpers. I did people's bumpers. Anything to get some people interested. More people interested, the better.
Well, I think people are interested in hockey in the Tampa Bay
without a doubt. In 92, 93, it was a little bit of a stretch.
So we don't know what's going to happen in this third period. We don't know if the game is going to be over after 3 periods. I think it is safe to say at this point, this has been one of the best series, first round or otherwise, the NHL has seen in quite some time.
Years. I think years.
So well played, so closely contested.
Both teams are so well coached and well managed. And the players are both on both sides very good players, good goaltending.
Now, look, they're making a lot of the fact the Canadiens did not have a shot on net in the second period. I mean, they didn't have as much possession as the Lightning, but I mean, they had some looks at the net. They had some plays that looked kind of dangerous. So it's not like they were completely snuffed out in that second period. But the Lightning got the goal they needed to tie the game, and so it's 1-1 going into the third.
Yep.
Each team has had 2 power play chances so far tonight.
They got Slafkovsky back
to start the third.
Yes,
remember, in Game 5, the Canadiens scored early in the third period to take a 3-2 lead.
Caulfield isn't out there.
Yeah, they got Suzuki, Slafkovsky, and Demidov to start the third. Cirelli wins the faceoff from Suzuki. Here's Radish chopping the puck to Cirelli at center ice. And let Kucherov, who backhands it in. Dobes stops it behind the Montreal net. Slings it around the near boards. And it's going to pinball up the middle. Kucherov knocked down the clearing attempt from Slafkovsky. It's going to slip to Hagel back across the Montreal line, left point. Cranks it by the net. Dobes does well to stop it and feed for Yuri Slafkovsky in the far corner. Just underway in the third, 1-1 the score. Slafkovsky will direct it for Matheson. Lightning are getting a change. Matheson outlets for Demidov in the left wing. He'll tuck it in and chase. Moser first to it. Moser behind the net. Tackle by Demidov. Point grabs. Up the far boards. Not out. Held in Dobson. Right corner. Tried to center for Demidov. It's blocked. Now Moser finds a little room here in the far corner and chips it out. Knocking down Slafkovsky in the neutral zone. Back for Lane Hudson in the left wing. Hudson across the Lightning line. Goes cross ice. Corey Perry is after it. Perry hits McDonough. Around to the near side. Radish fumbles it a bit. Needs to clear this. Up the near boards. Hudson blocks it. Lightning didn't get it out yet. It's loose at that blue line. Where is it? Grabbed by Danault. Lightning didn't get it out. Danault cross ice. Anderson right circle. Anderson rattles it by the net. Danault. Danault trying to center and McDonough cuts it off. Now the Lightning need to execute it clear. McDonough slings it out to center ice. Noah Dobson knocks it down. Back in the left wing for Danault, misses him. It's grabbed by McDonough. Knuckleballs it up the far boards, and Chernak rattles it out. Lightning just need to be a little crisper in their exits. Now this is offside as Caulfield dumps it in. Danault ahead of the play. That'll stop the clock with 18:32 left in the third. We saw this from the Canadiens in the first period. Really hungry on pucks, coming at Lightning puck carriers in the defensive zone.
Yeah, you can bet that's what St. Louis said to them in between the period. Guys, get on them quicker. Get on them quicker, like you did in the first period. Face off just outside the Lightning blue line.
Evans and Paul. Evans is tossed. Hasn't been tossed often in this series, so Newhook and Paul. Paul wins it. Lilleberg slides for Destu in the left wing. Back for Emil Lilleberg. Right wing Gergensons. He'll hurry it in. This puck is going to rattle to the far corner, and Paul is there. Nick Paul behind the net. Looks to make a play, spinning on Newhook. Paul walks to the left circle, wheels and shoots wide left. It's going to carry him to Lilleberg right circle. Backhands it by the Montreal net. Gouli is there. Pucks it up the far boards. Is it out? Held in Yanni Gourde left circle. Left corner Nick Paul. Paul strong on the puck. Paul looks to make a play to a teammate. Stays with it left circle. Spinning on Texier. Paul will barrel behind the net. Looks to get help from Gourde. It's knocked away from him. Jake Evans a steal. He'll slide it to the far corner. And Gouli turns for Texier. Now it's Carrier. The Canadiens want to change. Back behind the net, it's Caden Gouli. Back for Alexander Carrier. Early third, 1-1 the score. Carrier to the red line. Spins it for Bolduc. He'll chip it in. Lilleberg needs to make a play here. Gallagher's bearing down on him. Lilleberg gets out from Bjorkstrand. Now it's McDonough. Ryan McDonough zips it up the middle. James. The center ice Gage Gonsalves. He'll force it in. James after it, right circle. James trying to keep it alive, right circle. James ran into a poke check, stays with it, right circle Gonsalves. He'll feed Bjorkstrand right circle. Bjorkstrand tied up. Where is that puck? It's going to bounce out of the zone. Pursuing his Doc. Got it to Bolduc. Bolduc to the Lightning zone. Center point shot blocked. There's Gonsalves scaling it out. It's alive at center ice for Hudson. Right side feed Gallagher. He'll drop it for Doc. And the Canadiens go backwards. They want to change. Hudson in his zones on Matheson. 3 minutes played in the third. 1-1 the score. Matheson. Dead man feed Suzuki. He'll hit Demidov at the left wing. Directs it in. Back to get at Moser by the Lightning net. Moser is checked by Nick Suzuki trying to get away. Jams it up the far boards. Kucherov does get it to Hagel. Short feed Radish. Now Kucherov on the outlet to center. Kucherov across the line. Hagel left circle. Back for Kucherov through his skates. A counter for Slafkovsky. He got tied up by Moser. He works it in. Radish turns it out Cirelli. Cirelli a tough pass. Stolen Demidov. Demidov across the Lightning line. Protects it. He'll tuck it to the far corner. Suzuki there. Suzuki got his elbow into Moser. Moser lost his stick. Cirelli looking to jam it out. Not out yet. Hagel follows up and maneuvers it out. Really hard puck battles being contested right now between both these teams. Noah Dobson for Montreal in his own zone. Shovels for Caden Gooley. He'll curl behind the Montreal net. 4 minutes played in the third, 1-1 the score. Gooley for Dobson on the right wing. He'll turn to Cole Caulfield at center. Caulfield to the red line. He'll lob it in. First two in McDonough on the Lightning net. Tucks it for Chernak. Looks to maneuver it to Gensel. It's stolen away Anderson. Left corner, Caulfield. Behind the net, Danault. Or is it right point, Carrier? Alexander Carrier. Right point, Danault off his stick. Braden point of steel. Needs to execute a clear. Flips it up the middle for Corey Perry. Perry to the red line and Gensel. Gensel across the line, Perry. Right point. Corey Perry open. Shoots. That was blocked by Matheson and deflected high in the air out of play. Lightning get an ozone face-off with 15:32 left in the third of a 1-1 game.
I love the fact that Corey Perry was thinking shoot. Got over the blue line. Got about 5 feet from the top of that face-off circle and took the good shot. He deflected up into the mesh, but still, right idea. Face-off to the left of Dobish.
Paul's going to come out for the face-off against Philip Danault.
Hold it, Paulie, they're not ready yet. God.
And Danault wins the draw. Matheson up the near boards. Does find the stick of Newhook. Newhook makes his way to the red line and delivers it in. Destu after the Lightning near corner, wraps it around the far boards. Gord lost it a bit. Bumps it for Girgensons. Needs to clear it, didn't get out. Gord follows up, zips to center ice, and here comes Destu with Paul. That looked offside, and it was. Destu just fumbled the puck. I'm seeing this again. We saw in the first period, Bill. The Lightning, if they want to pass it out, look, that's fine, but you got to be tape to tape. You got to be quick. Because the Canadians are sniffing on every loose puck.
They're coming right at you, and they're coming at you fast. But see, Nick Paul, I said, wait. His players weren't ready. A centerman before you go in there, kids. Before you go in that face-off, you turn around and make sure all your players are in the right position, the way you want them. You're the centerman, you're the boss.
Neither team with a shot on net so far in the third. Not quite 5 minutes gone in the third. Got a draw between James and Evans from neutral ice. And James does win it. Lilleberg traps it down at his own blue line. Feeds it up the middle to Stu. Couldn't nudge it in. He'll regroup in his own end. Left wing Emil Lilleberg. At the left side, Bjorkstrand does deflect this in. Dobesh to leave it for Hudson behind the Montreal net. Up the far boards, Dobson. Checked by Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand to steal. Left circle. Feed. Shot taken by Gonsalves. Save made Dobesh. And he holds on. A great A for Gage Gonsalves. Beautiful save, Dobesh.
It was a great save. A good pass right out to the hash marks. Good shot by
You think Gonsalves. He got all of that?
I don't think. I think it wobbled on him a little bit. Yeah. But, boy, was James wide open. But, you know, that quick bang, bang play, you had to shoot it at the net, and that's what he did.
Good job by Bjorkstrand to get in on Dobson and force the steal.
Yes, sir.
Now draw to the right of Dobesh. Cirelli and Suzuki won by Cirelli. Moser at the left point. Flips one wide left. Rebound is going to skip to the near side boards. Who's got it? Kucherov does. A little right circle shot is stopped by Dobesh. He wants a whistle here. He'll cover it up. 14:41 left to go in the third. 1-1 the score.
This face-off will come to the left this time of Dobish.
So Cirelli on his weak side. I'll take it against Danault. They send him out to the Canadiens for the face-off. Won by the Canadiens. Carrier behind the net, wraps it out around the far boards. This has got to be an icing. Yep. So now the Lightning can choose the other circle. See if they change up the line. Keep Cirelli out there.
Probably. Look, we're way over to the right side already.
Yeah.
The linesman did.
Suzuki is out there, so he'll come back in to take the draw. Unless they want Danault to take it on his weak side. No, they're going to have Suzuki take it. Not quite 5.5 played in the third. 1-1 the score. Cirelli and Suzuki. Another face-off won by the Canadiens. Carrier collects on the right wing and directs this out. Puck bounces to Radish in his own end. He lost it. Slavkovsky a steal. Left circle Suzuki. Shoots. Save Vasilevsky, and he holds on. A little bit of a hesitation there. It was a tough play. It was flipped, but the 2D couldn't execute. And Suzuki got the shot up. There's the first Montreal shot officially since Suzuki's goal back in the first.
Moser was a little lax on that one. He wasn't as strong on it as he should have been.
They keep Suzuki out there for this face-off to the right of Vasilevsky. Cirelli stays out for the D-zone face-off for the Lightning. Slavkovsky lining up right behind Suzuki for a potential one-timer. And the draw is one for Kucherov. He'll flip it out. This is not an icing. Lane Hudson grabs the puck and peels behind the Montreal net. Hudson up the middle. Uri Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky to center ice. Walks it across the blue line, left circle, trying to split the D. Radish slows him up. Slavkovsky follows up left corner for Dobson, right circle. Noah Dobson by the net. Uri Slavkovsky. They'll switch it to the left point. Hudson. Hudson a pass picked off Kucherov. Kucherov deals it up the middle. Here's Hagel down the right wing. Cross the line. Hagel right circle shot save made by Dobesh out of the top of his crease. Made the save and holds on. Dobson holding on to Hagel after the whistle. We're due a TV timeout. We're going to take it. Still a 1-1 game. 13:54 left in the third on Lightning Radio.
Jack Daniels is proudly served in fine establishments, questionable joints, and everywhere in between. So, no matter where you go, in every bar, you'll always know someone by name.
Jack. Jack and Coke?
Shot of Jack?
Jack Daniels, please.
Right away. That's what makes Jack, Jack.
Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Copyright 2025 Jack Daniels. Tennessee whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. 80 proof.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series. Built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Spectrum TV fixed TV and combined all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32, blue 32, hot hype. It's only more Hail Marys.
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over $100 worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox One, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Still a 1-1 game. 13:54 left in the third. Face off to Dobesh's left. Made a good save on Hagel. His aggressiveness really helps him to cut down the angle on shots.
He's really aggressive. But that's the way he's been taught, and that's Montreal knows it, so they make sure their defense is really strong to clear the guy out.
Paul and Deno to the left of Dobesh. Paul's tossed. See if Gord or Gergensons will take it. It'll be Yanni Gord. 50-50, and Paul comes up with it. Nick Paul right circle. Paul cuts toward the slot.
He missed the net.
I think it was blocked.
Holy.
And then it's cleared by Caulfield to the Lightning end.
He was wide open.
Peels by the Lightning net. Lilleberg under some pressure. It's Paul on the right wing. Goes to the far side. Destu needs to execute a clear here. Left side outlet Gord. Cross ice Nick Paul skates onto it on the right wing. Cross the line. Strong move right circle. Paul pulls up. Paul stays with it. Nick Paul.
That's the net.
Well, turn it right circle Gord. Look to center, and it got knocked away by Anderson. Anderson hits Caulfield to center. Caulfield flips it in on Vasilevsky. Plays the short hop, and he's got to take a whistle here. Well, let's see a replay. Now we have the sticks come up. Really the first time we've seen this tonight. See if we get penalties called. That Paul chance, I think it was blocked. But, boy, he walked right to the middle.
Yeah, he walked right to the middle there. We got a little shoving between Anderson and Lilleberg. And then the other guys come in.
This will be a D-zone face-off for the Lightning upcoming.
But Paul was right there. You're right. That puck almost beat Vasilevsky. That puck bounced like a knuckleball, folks. It hit right in front of him and went sideways. And Vasi was just quick enough to close it. Boy, oh boy, we've seen goals like that this year. In fact, we just saw one on Buffalo in the playoffs this year.
The short hop can be tricky.
Yes,
they didn't count that as a shot, but it could have been. I mean, if it went in, it would have counted as a shot. Now they just added it.
Yeah, I guess they should.
All right, that's what they showed in the replay, not the Paul attempt. So here's a big face-off for Dominic James on his weak side against Newhook. To the right of Vasilevsky. James wins it. Chernak onto the Lightning near corner. Feeds it out. Gonsalves at center. Got checked. And Hudson sweeps it back in. Chernak by the Lightning net. All right, Chernak, we're going to pedal out of trouble. Walks it up the left wing. Banks it to center ice. Dobson knocks it down. And Chernak has it back for James. Slipping free across the blue line.
Oh, he lost.
Stick handle it. Up the middle. He lost the handle. Gonsalves follows up. Left stick up Bjorkstrand. Rips a shot. Wide left. Rebound Chernak right point. Fans wanted a call. I don't think that warranted one. Here's Gonsalves pivoting on Dobson in the left corner. Looking to feed it to the center point. Chernak bounced off his stick. Comes out of the zone. He'll hurry it back in.
That's all right. That's all right.
12:40 left. 1-1 the score. Evans will leave it by the Montreal net for Matheson. Mike Matheson steps up the middle. Left side outlet Gooley. He'll deal it down the ice. I guess Demidov touched it. No icing. J.J. Moser collects. Moser will wind it on the right wing. Radish too far for him. It works as a dump in, though. Gooley has it back in the Montreal end. Left wing, Juraj Slafkovsky. Chips it up the middle, Suzuki. Nicely done. Across the blue line, Suzuki,
back
right
in.
circle. Shoots, blocked by Kucherov.
I'm sorry for yelling.
And it went out of play.
David, I'm sorry.
Well, they did back in. I think they were worried about, I think it was Demidov streaking down the right wing.
Exactly.
Now a face-off to the left of Vasilevsky.
But boy, you went back in like that and you give them that time. See both teams making changes.
Kirby Dach to take this face-off for the Canadiens against Paul.
Right now, Paul gets on point, but I would imagine Paul will go off.
50-50. It's won by the Lightning. Destu in the Lightning far corner. Slides it up the far boards. Gergensons does get it out. Gensel at center. Gensel checked. Golfs it in. Bolduc flips it out. Puck bounces at center ice. Dach for Gallagher. He'll rattle it in. Destu has broken his stick. Lilleberg has it, though, by the Lightning net. Lilleberg steps up the middle. Destu has a new stick. Up the left side, Destu does touch it in, negating an icing. There's Carrier behind the Montreal net. Bumping it around the near side. Held in Corey Perry, right circle. Right corner, Braden Point. Point skates right circle. Point looks to make a play right at that blue line. Braden Point turns right circle. Pivoting. Slips it center point to Chernak. Chernak shoots. Tipped wide left by Perry. And the puck hit the glass, went out of play. 11:31 left. 1-1 the score. Face out of the Montreal zone now. Every shot to the net. Everybody's holding their breath.
Absolutely they are. You got 11 minutes and 31 seconds left in this third period. And everybody, you take one shot at the net and you hold your breath. The face-off is coming to the left of Dobish.
Paul and Deno. Won by the Canadiens. Matheson is checked by Gergensons. Trying to get away, he will. Matheson skating well on the right wing. Matheson lost it at center ice to Gord. Nick Paul will chop it back to the Montreal end. Here's Carrier. Left wing Cole Caulfield. Losing Chernak. And Chernak force it forward? No, but McDonough's got it in the Lightning end. McDonough banks it for Zemgus Gergensons. Steps to the red line. Strong move to stay with it. Hooked a bit by Dano, but he backhands it in. 9 minutes played in the third. Still a 1-1 game. Dobson in the far corner. Checked by Gergensons. Dobson gets away. Noah Dobson. Nice lead feed Dano at center. Canadians carry it across the line. Left circle, it's Caulfield getting checked.
Oh,
no. To the slot. Shoots, blocked. Rebound. Caulfield again. Center point. Gooley shoots, blocked. Gooley has it again at the center point. Caden Gooley goes cross ice, blocked again. Rebound Dobson, right point shot. Blocked again. Lightning can't get it. Caulfield, a feed. High slot Anderson shoots, blocked again. It's still loose. Where is it? Lightning cannot get this puck. Caulfield left circle. Left point to Gooley. Right circle, it's Dobson. Noah Dobson, left circle, Caulfield, shot it wide left. Held in Dobson, right point. Lightning are exhausted. Noah Dobson angles center point. Dobson leaves it, Caden Gooley, right point. Gooley, left point to Dobson. Noah Dobson has room here, center point. Shoots, blocked by Gergensons. Dobson has it again. Feeds Cole Caulfield, center point. Shoots it toward the net, wide right. Rebound behind the net, Radish. Around the near boards. Gergensons gets it and chips it out. Lightning need a change here. I think the Canadians will take one, too. Caulfield goes back to his own zone. Huge shot blocks there for the Lightning. Now one of those attempts reached Vasilevsky. Here's Suzuki with fresh legs, though, on the left wing. That looked offside while he didn't carry it in. So they'll regroup, dropping it for Matheson in the Montreal zone. Under 10 to play, 1-1 the score. Mike Matheson banks on the right wing. Hudson loses Sorelli. Sorelli forces it in. First to it is Matheson. Loses Hagel. Brandon Hagel controls it. Hagel pivoting in the right corner. Hagel. Right circle Kucherov. Kucherov feeds the center point to Moser. Pass for Kucherov misses. Following up Hagel behind the net. Keeps it alive. J.J. Moser left circle. Well, he tried to make a pass to Hagel. It's picked off Hudson. Hudson slides it around the near boards. Chernak steps up on Demidov. Demidov gets it away for Suzuki, who again curls back to his own zone. The Canadians want to change. Suzuki for Matheson, back for Nick Suzuki. Now he'll hit Slavkovsky at center. Tucks it in the left wing. It's golfed in by Hudson. Puck on the carom. Suzuki does stay out there behind the net. Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky feeds it right circle Newhook. Alex Newhook to the right point Matheson. Left circle Hudson. Shoots. Blocked away by Vasilevsky. Rebound loose in front. It's in.
Oh my God, from behind the net.
It got banked in from behind the net. The Canadians go up 2-1. The goal for Alex Newhook.
From behind the net.
The shot was stopped by Vasilevsky, hit the end wall. Let's see what happened here.
Hits the end wall, bounces right back. Newhook just whacks at it. It's about waist high. He whacks at it, and it hits Vasilevsky in the back and goes into the net. Unbelievable.
Well, the Canadians have gotten a couple of bounces on their goals, and that's a great play by Newhook. So Newhook gets the goal to make it 2-1, his first in the series.
Oh, boy.
And the Canadians have the lead with under 9 to play.
That's unbelievable. That's all I can say. Who shot that puck and missed in that?
It was Hudson.
Hudson again.
I thought it was Hudson. Yeah, well, Vasilevsky stopped it, I think. It hit the end wall.
Yeah.
Came back in front. So Newhook gets the goal. 2-1 Montreal.
Lucky.
Center ice face-off win. Evans from Gensel. And Texier dumps it in. Under 9 to play. The Lightning are down again. 2-1. Radish bangs it to center ice. Picking it up, Jake Gensel. Gensel busting free in the left wing. Cross the Montreal line. Gensel pulls up left circle. Feeds the left point to Moser. A shot blocked. Rebound Radish looks to hold it in at the right circle. Evans is on him. Evans slides it around the far boards. Gensel trying to hold it in with help from J.J. Moser. 2-1 Montreal. On a goal that banked in off Vasilevsky from behind the net from Newhook. But he tried to do it and he was successful. Gensel looks to keep it alive at the left circle. Evans takes it away. 2-1 Montreal with 8:17 left. Here's Matheson up the left wing. Mike Matheson checked by Kucherov. Matheson stays with it behind the net. Feeds a right wing Carrier. He'll flip to center ice. Lilleberg knocks it down and looks to make a dump in play. He actually stays with it across the blue line. High slide Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand shoots, save made by the goaltender Dobish. That might have been going far post. Dobish, the glove stop on Bjorkstrand. 2-1 Canadians. 7:57 left on Lightning Radio.
Lightning fans, it's time to save big on Bubble Days at Bubble Down Car Wash. Wear your Tampa Bay Lightning gear Monday through Friday and get your car washed for just $5 all season long. Support your favorite team and keep your ride shining with this amazing deal. Clean cars, big savings, and unbelievable service. That's what makes us the bestest car wash in town. Get the cleanest car in town every time you bubble down. Bubble Down Car Wash, a proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Whether it's training day, game day,
Pass to the corner. He shoots. He scores.
or recovery day, Advent Health keeps you ready for every day and for everything that makes you feel whole. Advent Health, official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Lightning tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/lightning.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Newhook, the go-ahead goal, banking it off Vasilevsky's pad, then body and in on a rebound that was off the end wall or off the glass, back in front. But Newhook was able to swat it out of the air.
Yep.
Made a great play. Hand-eye coordination led to the bounce that the Canadiens needed to take the lead back. Draw to the right of Dobesh.
Lightning are out shooting the Canadiens 25-8.
Yeah.
To 8.
Third period shots are 4-4 though, Phil, for what that's worth.
Yeah.
Look, it's been an evenly played game. I think the Lightning have had more scoring chances than the Canadiens, but the Canadiens have had their scoring chances in this game for sure. Evans and Point on the draw. One right to Gensel, left circle shot, save made Dobesh. Well,
see that? Right
he has been fantastic in this series, been fantastic in Game 7.
He sure has. Right off the draw, back to Gensel. He just turns and snaps it, and Dobesh makes it save. He's right there in a perfect position, boy.
Point and Evans. Puck not dropped. And one again by the Lightning. Destu, center point Lilleberg. Left point Destu, a man is on him. Takes a shot. That just got tipped wide right. Here's Perry after the puck right circle. Perry, checked by Matheson. Point follows up in the right corner. Wraps it back to Destu at the left point.
No.
He'll tap it. Right corner Perry. Perry slides across as Gensel is after it. Anderson's on it first. Anderson trying to flip it out. And it's not out. Held in Gensel for Point. Right in Point left circle. Is checked. Gets help from Gensel left corner. Jake Gensel. A centering feed got deflected away from Destu and slides back to the Lightning end. 7:17 left. 2-1 Montreal in Game 7. Destu gives the puck to Darren Radish. Lightning get a change. Radish winds up. Up the middle, Kucherov dumps it in. It's swatted out Gouli to Suzuki. He'll jam it across the blue line. Nick Suzuki, right circle shot, save made Vasilevsky. Long rebound, grabbed by Kucherov. Kucherov 3-3 to center. Across the blue line to the left circle. Trying to dance in front, lost the handle. Puck is going to bounce to Cirelli. Anthony Cirelli. Right circle, Hagel. Right point, Radish. Shoots wide left. There's Suzuki looking to jam it out. Lost to Kucherov left circle. Kucherov goes cross ice, Brandon Hagel at the right circle. Hagel tied up. Slavkovsky steps clear. Uri Slavkovsky veering up the right wing. Slavkovsky goes back to his own zone and Dobson. 6:33 left, 2-1 Canadiens. Dobson will retreat behind the Montreal net. Short feed Gouli in the left wing. Has 2 assists tonight. He'll let Texier at center ice. Bounces it in on Vasilevsky. Knocks it down for McDonough on the Lightning net. Lightning move left to right in the third. 6:18 left. Left side outlet, Gage Gonsalves to center. Gonsalves cutting his way up the middle. Across the Montreal line. A drop pass. Chernak right circle in behind him. James does hold it in the right point. Looking for Gage Gonsalves right circle. Matheson steals and clears. This may be an icing though. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's going to cross the end line and icing is called. So the Lightning really trying to press on the Canadiens to get this game tied. They're down 2-1 with 6:01 left.
Boy, a good rush by Gonsalves there. He was right there by the, again, at the top of that faceoff circle and making the good moves. Passed it back to the point, and the Canadian guy was there. Face-off comes to the right. And Nick Paul's going to take it.
Yeah, against Deno.
Gensel is out there with Paul, and
Kucherov lining up right behind Paul. The draw is going to be controlled by the Canadiens, though. Texier forces it out to center ice and chases and one-arms it in. Canadiens get a change after the icing. Radish winds up. Under 6 to play. Darren Radish to the right wing of the red line. Hammers this in. Puck in the harder on Gouli. Gouli is tripped. Where's the puck? Does come free to Kirby Doc. Doc peels back to the Canadiens near corner. On the far side to Matheson. Short feed, Caden Gouli. Up the middle, Evans. Evans to center ice. Slips free. That looked offside, and it was across the blue line. We'll get a TV timeout. Lightning need a goal. They're down 2-1. 5:29 left in the third on Lightning Radio.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Spectrum TV Fixed TV, and combined all your favorite sports streaming apps with live TV.
32, blue 32. Hi. It's only more Hail Marys.
It's only more bottom of the ninth magic.
It's only more slow motion replays.
It's only getting all the sports with over 100 hours worth of streaming apps like ESPN, Fox One, Tennis Channel, Peacock, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Calling all Ragers. Kid Cudi presents the Rebel Ragers Tour. Live at Benchmark International Arena, Friday, May 8th. Kid Cudi with special guests MIA, Big Boy, and A-Track. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. See Kid Cudi, MIA, Big Boy, and A-Track. More info at KidCudi.com.
This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
We just passed the last TV timeout in the third period, and the Lightning are down 1 on a goal from Alex Newhook that he banked in off Vasilevsky on a crazy rebound off the end wall. And sometimes it takes a bounce like that to be the difference in a playoff game. The Lightning hope that won't be the difference in this game.
Must have been a good baseball player.
Yeah.
Because that ball was the puck was waist high.
Clock reads 5:29 left in the third. Face off in the neutral zone, Suzuki and Cirelli. Won by the Canadiens. Dobson blasts it in. Puck grab by Darren Radish by the Lightning net. Headman feed, Anthony Cirelli to center. Walking up the middle. Across the blue line, gives to Hagel, left circle. Hagel open.
Shoot it!
Shoots. Block. Rebound. Loose in front. Moser had to go right over his stick. A counter here, Slavkovsky with Suzuki. Across the blind, Yuri Slavkovsky left circle, holds and tries to shoot. It got deflected wide right. Slavkovsky broke his stick in the process. So chances at both ends. Here's Point settling things down for Radish with 5 to play.
Point just stays out about 2 more feet outside. It's in the net. He got too close to the goalie.
Here's Dominic James taking the puck up the middle at center. James still going across the line, high slot. James shoots. Pad save made by Dobesh. Rebound James right corner. A pass knocked down by Carrier. Carrier looking to clear it. Up the far boards, Doc bounces it out past Destu. 4:35 left. Charles-Edouard Destu lays it back in. Matheson is there. Mike Matheson cuts behind the Montreal net. Matheson looking to escape. Right side feed Doc to the red line. He steps. He dumps it in. The hard around is going to be tracked by Newhook. As the go-ahead goal in the game, delivers it by the Lightning net. Destu is going to get it. Destu feeds Kucherov on the right wing. 4:15 left. Kucherov to the red line. He'll angle his way up the middle. Feed it across the blue line. And Gensel. A pass hits a stick or a skate, and Anderson clears. McDonough regroups with 4 to play. 2-1 Montreal. Ryan McDonough. Right wing Eric Chernak. He'll slip to Oliver Bjorkstrand up the middle at center. Across the blind, Bjorkstrand, left circle, Gonsalves. Looking for Gord in front. Instead, it comes to Chernak, right circle. Chernak shoots, wide left. Rebound. Alive for Texier in the far corner. And Texier clears. Chernak knocks it down. Legally, he was not high sticking that. They'll drop it for McDonough in the Lightning end with 3:38 left. Lightning down 1. McDonough slings for Gord in the right wing. Touches it in. Back to get it, Suzuki. Suzuki by the Montreal net. Into the far corner, and Matheson. Feeds Slavkovsky. He'll direct it forward. Suzuki buzzing onto it. Suzuki across the blue line, left circle. Suzuki is checked. He'll feed Deneau behind the net. Philip Deneau looking to protect the puck and kill some clock here. He'll be stripped by Radish for Gage Gonsalves, and now Moser with 3:13 left. J.J. Moser hands it off Yanni Gord. Lightning get a change. Right wing, it's Radish. They may be setting up. Not quite yet. Maybe the 6-on-5. Here's Hagel to center, dumping it in. Hagel after the puck, right corner. Hagel looks for Cirelli right corner. Instead, it's Deneau trying to clear it, and it is swept down the ice by Evans. No icing. Under 3 to play. 2-1 Montreal. Charles-Edouard Destu controls the puck in front of the Lightning net. Headman feed Hagel. Brandon Hagel cuts to the red line. Bangs it in. Dobesh stops it behind his own net to the far corner, and Hudson trying to clear it, and he does. This is going to go down the ice, though. Oh, it hit a stick. Broken stick, so no icing. What a bad break for the Lightning.
Unbelievable, even that.
2.5 to play. Lightning down 2-1. Here comes Dominic James. Busting up the middle at center ice. He'll chip it in. He's knocked to the ice. No call. Puck grab by Dobson. They're on the far boards. Bjorkstrand looks to hold it in left point. Bjorkstrand, a little feed James. High slot. Right circle Lilleberg. Emil Lilleberg looking to center it. It slides to the side of the net, and I think Dobesh covers it. So with 2:12 left, the Lightning get an offensive zone faceoff. We'll see if they pull Vasilevsky here for the 6-on-5.
Well, they might. This line has been so good tonight for the Lightning.
They've been terrific.
James and Bjorkstrand and Gonsalves.
This is normally where Cooper would pull Vasilevsky. I don't know if they're going to do it here.
He may be waiting.
Yeah, I think they may be calling timeout.
He's waiting for Montreal to put his line up there, and then he'll either call a timeout or pull Vasilevsky.
No, they're not calling a timeout, and they are pulling Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
So the Lightning did everything but score in Game 5 with the net empty, but there's always the threat that you could give up that empty net goal, of course, and then you're really up against it.
Got to win this face-off. Is ball out there? No.
Point, Cirelli, Gensel, Kucherov, Radish, and Hagel.
Wow.
That's your 6-on-5 unit. Dano and Point to the left of Dobesh. Won by the Canadiens. Carey in the near corner looks to clear it. Up the near boards, held in Radish at the right point momentarily. Puck battle right at that blue line. Who's going to come up with it? Nobody yet. And we get a whistle. So another face-off in the Montreal zone. 2:01 on the clock. Lightning cannot pick the circle here, so if Point's going to take it again, he's going to have to try and do better against Dano, who's been very good in the circle in the series.
Yeah, he has.
But the Canadiens never got the puck out.
Face off again to the left of Dobesh. And Point's going to take it again.
Yep, against Dano. And this is more of a 50-50, and it's grabbed by Radish, right point. A shot blocked. Evans is after it. Evans grabs. Evans, a feed blocked by Point, trying to hold this in. Left circle Cirelli. Cirelli rattles it by the net. It's going to pinball to Kucherov, right corner. Kucherov is checked. Puck is going to bounce to whom? Point loses it. This puck is chipped down the ice. It's going to go wide of the open net from Evans, so it's an icing. So now the Lightning can pick the other circle. Nothing to the net so far with the goalie pulled for the Lightning. 1:41 remaining, 2-1 Canadiens.
Yeah, his face-off will come to the right this time. Nick Paul's coming out to take the draw.
Against Evans, to the right of Dobesh. Puck not dropped.
Evans' stick still isn't drawn down.
Suzuki keeps sneaking in the circle. That's why they're not dropping it. Now it's a 50-50, and it is won by the Canadiens. Matheson by the net. Wraps it around the near boards. And again, it goes down the ice. And this again will be no icing. They wave it off.
Unbelievable.
Minute 30 left. It didn't quite cross the end line. Radish, a little feed. Gensel to Point. Braden Point wheels to the red line. Point dumps it in. Dobesh slows it by the net, grabbing it Matheson. Bumps it around the far boards, Carey it. Carey is checked. Point of steal left circle. Bobbles for Gensel left corner. Wraps it to Kucherov right circle. Right point Radish couldn't hold it in.
That? Cooch, come
left.
on.
There's Radish to Brandon Hagel at the red line. Back for Darren Radish. Approaching 1 minute remaining. Lightning down 2-1 in Game 7. Hagel up the middle. Brandon Hagel. Across the line to Kucherov right circle. Kucherov. A drop pass stolen by Dano. He'll dump it down the ice. I think this is going to miss the open net. Yes. Cirelli is after the puck. He ties up Suzuki. The net is empty, though, for the Lightning. Who's got it? Kucherov looks to get it away from Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky wins it, shoots it toward the open net. It's blocked. 40 seconds left. Radish, right wing Gensel. Gensel to center ice. Turns it for Point. Across the line, Braden Point. A pass blocked. Stealing it is Evans. Dumps to Slavkovsky at center. Looks toward the open net. Holds. Blocked by Hagel. 26 seconds left. Gensel. Left wing gage Gonsalves. He'll bang it forward. Here's Perry. Cross ice Kucherov, 20 seconds left, still at center ice. Kucherov couldn't get it across the blue line initially. He has to regroup. Feeds it across the blue line. Gonsalves, 13 seconds left, offside against the Lightning. This has been a way different 6-on-5 for the Lightning. They've really not been able to generate any pressure. The Canadiens have done well to win faceoffs and not let anything get to the middle of the ice. 13.4 seconds left. We'll get a neutral zone faceoff. They had a little bit of time, 15.3. Boy, Hagel saved the game at least momentarily. Knocked it off Slavkovsky's stick because it looked like Slavkovsky was going to put it into the open net. timeout, I think, for the Lightning. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Lightning is expressly prohibited. Shots are 28-9 Lightning, and Dobesh has made 27 saves, many of them on high danger chances to keep the Lightning at 1 goal. And really, if we're looking, that's the difference in the game tonight.
Without a doubt.
I mean, the Canadiens earned their goals, right? I mean, they got a couple of bounces for sure, but it's that Dobesh has stopped some tremendous chances that the Lightning generated through almost 60 minutes. Kind of having to pull a rabbit out of the hat here for the Lightning.
I'll say it. Face-off is outside the blue line, too.
Yep. So Paul is out to take the face-off. He is going to be on his weak side. I wonder if he's going to try and shovel it in, potentially.
Well, who's on the right wing here? Kucherov. No, you're shoveling in because
Canadians win the draw. Matheson bangs it up the middle. Radish blocks it. 12 to go. Radish dumps it on Dobesh. Leaves it for Matheson. Can he clear it? Yes. Down the ice. Oh, that went out of play. They said it was deflected. So with 5.7 seconds left, we'll get a face-off to the left of Dobesh. One last gasp here for the Lightning.
Now they got a chance. Winning, they got to win that draw, though, right?
It's a penalty, too. So they'll get a 6-on-4. They've already used their timeout, but just not a lot of time left. Too bad this didn't happen even 20 seconds earlier.
Yeah. Face-off, the Lightning are going to... McCauley's saying, come on, let's go, unless you call timeout.
Well, they just used their timeout.
Yeah, so you can't do it.
They can pick the circle. They're going to go to the right of Dobesh. 6-on-4. They had a little bit of time, 6.3 seconds. Paul probably needs to win this faceoff absolutely cleanly from Evans.
At least not clean, but get a shot over here to Kucherov.
Yeah.
A pass from point to Kucherov. If Paul can win the draw.
Now the Canadians call timeout. They had theirs still available to them. Well, sometimes you play Game 7 and, you're like, we didn't really play very well. The Lightning played well tonight.
The Lightning have played very well for the most part.
A little unlucky on the 2 goals against and unable to finish on Dobesh. That's basically been the story in Game 7.
Well, Dobesh has been the star.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
The first goal the Canadiens scored, Suzuki made a nice tip, but it was going wide of the net. It hit Moser,
and went in.
And the second goal, Hudson takes a shot that was deflected wide, we think, hit the backboards, was coming in front, and Newhook batted it out of the air and knocked it in off Vasilevsky.
Back, off of his back and his pad. Amazing.
And those are the 2 goals the Canadiens got tonight. All right, Paul on this face-off against Evans, 6.3 in the clock. It is a 6-on-4 for the Lightning, but the clock is not their friend. Here's the face-off. It's won by the Lightning. Point, center point, right point to Kucherov. Shoots, block, rebound, chipped out of the zone. That'll do it. Canadians win it. Evans made the play at the end to knock it out, and the Canadians get the goal from Newhook to break the tie, and they win Game 7 2-1. Every game in this series decided by 1 goal, but maybe the Lightning, you could say, deserved a better fate tonight, but it was not meant to be. The Canadians got a great goaltending performance and benefited from a couple of bounces that they earned, but they got them. And in a close series and a close game like this, that was the difference.
Well, I'm a little ticked off, but that's another story.
Lightning held the Canadiens to only 9 shots in the game, 4 in the first, 5 in the third, none in the second. But 2 pucks went in the Lightning net and only 1 went in the Montreal net. So congratulations to the Canadiens. They will advance to the second round to take on the Sabres in a series. I don't know if it's going to be as close